carpetbaggers in New York, the carpetbaggers up there that come down here and steal Alabama money and at the same time trash this state. I'm sick of them.
I'll be back with more Alabama stories after this.
Are you enjoying 1819 News? If so, consider joining 1819 News as a member. As a nonprofit news organization, we depend on the support of Alabamians like you. Memberships start out as little as $5 a month, and you'll get access to exclusive content only offered to our members. You'll be supporting independent journalism done by people who cherish Alabama values. Become a member today by visiting 1819news.com and clicking Become a Member. That's 1819news.com and click Become a Member today.
3 grocery stores in Enterprise were caught up in a sting operation conducted by Coffee County authorities to seize illegal gambling machines. Project Las Vegas was conducted in May of this year. Now the Coffee County District Attorney has released the names of those stores where the gambling machines and money were seized. All 3 stores sell Hispanic food items to the Hispanic community in that city. I'm Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
Hi, this is Bo Goodson from the Goodson Group with your updated market report. So far this year through MLS, there have been over 4,000 closings in the river region. Sellers have been getting on the average of over 97% of the listed price. In this ever-changing real estate market, I've seen more price reductions on listings over the last 3 months than I've seen in years. It's time to act for a buyer. So we have a greater supply of homes for people to see before they buy. We have an average price of $261,000 in our area. Local mortgage companies have come up with really attractive plans for first-home homebuyers, such as down payment assistance, lender credits to help on the closing costs, and buy-down plans to buy down the starting rate for borrowers. Investing in yourself and your community is life-changing for first-home homebuyers. You need a buyer agent to represent your interest and give you great advice. For all this information, call Bo Goodson at the Goodson Group at 221-2883 or 551-0225.
For over 40 years, Headley Plumbing has been fixing the river region's plumbing problems with fast, affordable service. The pros at Headley are ready to respond anytime you need help, and they charge fair rates for their expert service. They help river region homes and businesses every day, from repairing leaky faucets, septic tank service, replacing damaged sewer lines, or just unstopping a blocked drain. Trust the experts at Headley Plumbing. Call 285-3667. Headley Plumbing, 285-3667. Remember Headley's motto, in our business, a flush beats a full house.
Headley Metal Buildings has been your source for quality metal buildings in the river region since 2007. Carports up to 24 feet wide, RV covers, storage buildings, even a sturdy metal barn up to 54 feet wide. Your structure can be customized, installed on level ground, and comes with a 20-year warranty. Let Headley Metal Buildings help you find the perfect solution. Financing available. Call 285-3667 for details or find Headley Metal Buildings on Facebook.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Merry Christmas, you filthy animal, and a Happy New Year.
Joey Clark.
Welcome into the program. They call it Stormy Monday, but Tuesday's just as bad. If you're in Montgomery, Alabama, good luck staying dry. Man, we haven't seen this much rain in a while. So much to get to today, including more big money folks considering buying up Bitcoin in their reserves. Trump calls Trudeau, in some epic trolling, governor of the great state of Canada. Tim Walz, the failed VP nominee, says America chose hate on November the 5th. Good job there. And Elon Musk has proposed a transatlantic tunnel with his boring company, which seems like a crazy idea, but he might just be able to pull it off. And joining us now to discuss, well, some other topics that I know I'm looking forward to talking with this gentleman about is the one, the only Judge Andrew Napolitano. Judge, how are you today? I can't hear you, Judge. I don't know why you're... There we go.
Now you can hear me.
Yes, sir. How are you?
My apologies. I'm well, thank you. How are you?
I'm quite well, trying to stay dry. So I want to pick up on Syria because it is, I think, insane the moment we're in right now. In a way, I'm not sad at all. Don't shed a tear for us to see Assad go. But when you look at the breakdown of all the different factions still holding on to Syria and all the different players in there, this just seems like a recipe for disaster, despite what, say, somebody like a Jake Sullivan or even a Joe Biden might say about opportunity here. What's your take on this?
Well, Sullivan and Biden are happy that Netanyahu is happy because the pipeline from Iran to Hezbollah has been disrupted if they can't use Syria. But consider this. The guy in charge of the rebels, the chief rebel, the one who the CIA trained and funded, has a bounty on his head by the United States State Department. So the same government that says arrest this guy and you'll be paid the bounty is funding the guy. I mean, this is truly an only in America story, but that's where we are with this mess. I don't know how it's going to end. I don't know why the Russians let it happen. They probably have more important things to be concerned about. And I don't think it's going to bring peace to the region. It's going to bring great instability. These people that now run the Syrian government want the Golan Heights back. So if Netanyahu thought that his fake ceasefire with Hezbollah would help him out, he just bought another headache even bigger than the one he thought he was getting rid of.
Well, and right now the Western press seems to be claiming this guy who's the head of HTS that did this blitzkrieg, I think that shocked the world. I imagine even HTS was a little surprised, the lack of resistance they got. Jelani, I think is his last name.
Jelani's the guy that has the bounty on his head, whose organization is a terrorist organization denominated by the State Department, whose fighters were trained and funded by the CIA directly and indirectly, MI6 directly and indirectly.
And he goes way back to Iraq, right? Where after the de-Baathification, he's part of the insurgency. He's also part of ISIS. I think he's on tape literally beheading people. And yet they're now trying to sell he's a moderate.
Yes to all of that. But when he appeared on CNN on Sunday night, he said, I'm a new man. So CNN can put this creep on who has cut people's heads off and who the federal government says has tried to kill Americans because he says he's a new man. And somebody like Tulsi Gabbard can be criticized because she watches RT today in order to expand her understanding of what the Russians want the world to believe about their own government. Again, you can't make this stuff up.
Now, I was listening to your show, of course, yesterday and some of what I could catch this morning. And it sounds like that this might be an opportunity for the incoming Trump administration, seeing the fall of Assad, to have Iran actually join the negotiating table again, with the United States and Israel being in more of a position of strength and the Iranians more willing to make a deal. Is that about right?
Well, the Iranians have made it known to the Trump transition team, as well as to Jake Sullivan and Tony Blinken, that they prefer not to be an adversary of the United States or of Israel. However, the destruction of the Assad regime and what will probably result in the partitioning of Syria may force Iran to develop a nuclear weapon, which of course is going to put it adverse to the United States and adverse to Israel. Only one country in the world is allowed to have a nuclear weapon without signing the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty and without the permission of the UN, and that's Israel. Of course, everybody's supposed to pretend that they don't have one, but we all know that they do.
Right. Oh, no, I've seen interviews with like Benny Gantz or where they say, well, officially, we don't have any. And it's just a cynical wink and nod that they play with that. But it's just part of the conversation we were having last week that seems Trump and team are going to have a completely different geographic board to play with, whether you're talking about the heightened escalations in Ukraine or now this huge breakout in the Middle East. Well, you're right. Nobody, I think, can predict what's next, not even say the folks doing it.
You're right about a different geographic board, but it's going to be the same mentality. The neocon mentality pervades Marco Rubio, Mike Walz, Sebastian Gorka. And that neocon mentality is, start any war you want to produce any goal you want. Forget about American national security. Forget about morality. Forget about international law. The neocons are overjoyed that one terrorist, Assad, has been replaced with another terrorist. Even though this guy cuts people's hands and heads off, he's our terrorist. Even though our State Department has said, shoot him and we'll reward you. Capture him and we'll reward you more.
Again, folks, we're talking to Judge Andrew Napolitano. Leading on your broad and deep legal experience, what do you make of this case, the acquittal of Daniel Penny in particular? I have a policy on the show. I'm not in the jury box, so I don't like doing the day-to-day. But once it's decided by a jury, I'm always interested in how this broke down. What do you think of this case?
I think the jury probably came to the conclusion that the defendant died from some reason other than the choking. The choking, in my view, was horrific and criminal, but apparently it didn't cause his death, or at least that's what the jury found. I mean, try holding your breath for 5 minutes and 55 seconds. That's how long this guy was choked and couldn't breathe. And there was ample opportunity for anybody who was terrified on that subway to get off, because the subway came to a stop while this was going on. Penny continued to choke. He could have let him go and run off himself, and those who were afraid could have run off himself. That's what the law requires in New York. This jury effectively nullified the law, not for all purposes, but for this case, when they found that Penny was a hero rather than a criminal. Now, it's not a very popular view to have around here. I'm calling you from Newsmax today, but it's a view that I, as a former judge and as a legal scholar, am firmly believe is the correct one. You're going to see more of this vigilante stuff. You're going to see more white on black and black on white, because people will expect the same outcome that Penny had.
Yeah, and speaking of vigilantes, it seems that a person has been arrested in the murder of the CEO of United Healthcare, and his name is Luigi Mangione.
Yeah, this is a case where the evidence of his guilt is overwhelming. I would imagine it's going to be an insanity defense or a guilty plea. He comes from a family of substantial wealth. I would expect to see first-rate lawyers in Pennsylvania this afternoon and first-rate lawyers in New York next week or whenever he gets here. But he admitted to doing this in writings that were found on him. They, of course, are trying to trace connect the weapon that was found with him with the bullets that were found at the scene of the crime. This was a ghost gun that apparently he manufactured or bought from somebody who manufactured it. So it's not easy to do the tracing. But I would think his only defense is insanity. Otherwise, it's a guilty plea and get it over with. I mean, this is a case of first-degree murder. In the old days, this would have been capital murder, but New York doesn't have a death penalty. Methodically planning and plotting to execute somebody, capital murder by definition, first-degree murder by definition. Why they charged them with second-degree murder, I don't know. And that, of course, can change once the evidence is presented to a grand jury.
And I believe he wrote in the writings that they found on him, he was supportive. He essentially said the Unabomber had a point. And at some point, you have to choose violence, I believe, is, of course, paraphrasing, but that's the effect of what he was saying.
Well, there's an old phrase, when you strike at the king, you must kill him. If you're going to change society by violence, you better win the revolution, because if you lose, you're going to end up in jail for the rest of your life or executed.
Now, in your time on the bench, and I will close with this, we could talk about more Trump stuff like Pam Bondi and stuff another day. I more want to lean on, like, on your time on the bench, is there a particular trial or particular case that comes to mind as one that sort of stands out, that either it was bizarre or it was just, it just sticks in the mind for some reason?
Howard Stern was a defendant before me in a defamation case, and it was wild, and they decided to settle it because everywhere Stern went in the courthouse, there were hundreds of people mobbing him.
Wow. And this is Stern at the height, king of all media days.
Oh, this is Howard Stern, the king of all media. He pretended he was Dr. Kevorkian, and he said, call me up, and he made up a number. And the number was a real number of a real business, which got thousands of the most disgusting voicemail messages because he said to his fans, call me at this number and tell me how to kill myself. And whoever comes up with the most exotic, most horrific way for me to kill myself will win an award. And now I, as the judge, had to listen to all these voicemails. It was foul. It was really, really foul, but we settled the case.
I'm glad I asked that question. Wow. Oh, that's amazing. Well, I always appreciate your time, Judge. If folks want to check out Judging Freedom, how can they do so? And who do you have coming up this week?
I have Colonel McGregor tomorrow. I have Professor Mearsheimer tomorrow. I have Aaron Mate today. We did a lot yesterday, including Scott Ritter on Syria. But by the end of the week, all of my usual Class A guests, the public is very interested in this version of events that is inconsistent with the neocon nonsense being advanced by the Biden administration. I hope it's not advanced by the Trump administration, but the mindset is the same. Rubio, Gorsuch, Walz. They're the same as the folks that are running it now, except they have R after their name instead of D.
Well, there you go. I appreciate it as always, Judge. God bless, and we'll do it again soon.
Thank you, Joey. All the best.
Again, folks, that is Judge Andrew Napolitano. Always appreciate his insights and, like I said, the breadth and depth of his experience when it comes to the bench. Eddie, I mean, what did you make of that with Stern? That sounds like, man, talk about a guy who's changed.
Yeah, I remember that. I mean, that was Stern at his height, and that's when I really liked him because he was just so chaotic. You never knew what he was going to do.
Right. Now he's incredibly predictable. It's almost like he's been
he should have retired
sedated, and essentially his studio's his house now.
Yeah.
Doesn't leave. He's weird.
He's always been real open on the air about how he's like that. But
he's been a neurotic mess the whole time, but it's gotten worse as he's gotten older. So, man, I always appreciate the judge's insights on topical stuff, but that I can't imagine being in that courtroom having to listen to all
those messages.
Those voicemails?
Again, that was at his peak of crazy.
Goodness gracious. Here, Byron Sheehy is in the studio. How you doing today, Byron?
Doing well, man. Hey, could you imagine if the judge was a character on Private Parts or something like that?
Yeah, that would be amazing.
Good.
Yeah, that is still a very good movie.
Oh, excellent.
With Paul Giamatti as Pig Vomit.
Yes, that is an excellent movie.
Well, that's who I was going to get. That's who I was going to get to play the judge, man.
Oh man, yeah, that movie is still just remarkably funny. But yeah, talk about I guess who's the new king of all media? Rogan?
Right now, I think Rogan.
Has to be.
I think it's Rogan. And I didn't mention it with the judge, but Rupert Murdoch failing in some huge trial. It was not about money. It was over who would actually control Fox News, Wall Street Journal, and the New York Post. Everything under the umbrella of News Corp. And Murdoch, the 90-something-year-old Murdoch, lost. He was trying to give control of all those media properties to his son Lakeland. And the judge said no. So a lot of these very liberal heirs are going to be taking over these media companies.
And it was basically the one child versus the lot of them.
Yes.
The rest. Yeah, and the rest won.
Right. And again, it wasn't about money. He was making sure everybody got plenty of money in a pretty equitable way. It was more, I want this conservative media empire to remain conservative. And, go watch the show Succession. I think it's largely based on the Murdochs. And very funny show.
I think there's actually a producer on there that's a Murdoch.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm pretty certain you're 100% spot on that.
So, Fox News, Fox Business I'm looking at right now on our TV screen, they've been holding strong despite the changes in media. Fox, by far, is the one cable news company that has a strong audience.
What are they going to do, get rid of their hot women?
Oh, they better not.
Not right.
We better keep the leg cam.
That's
the only thing we like anymore.
What are you
that Gutfeld. I like
the Weather Channel? I mean, that's it.
Mexican
Right.
Weather Channel. Yeah, really good, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, it is. I'm very familiar.
Well, I gotta hit a break here, but first, this part of the program brought to you by Josh and Leslie Ryder there at Dillon Rings. And Christmas, folks, is right around the corner. So you need to get by there to Dillon Rings. You can get, say, a top of the line item. Maybe you're popping the big question around Christmas
This is a
time.
good time to do it.
Go ahead and get a beautiful engagement ring. They can do that for you. Or maybe you're looking for stocking stuffers. They've got, like gold bracelets,
Right.
flexible bracelets that, 40, $50. They look great.
good
They're
stocking
pretty durable, and it's a great stocking stuffer. But, are you looking for light on this dreary day? Maybe thinking about taking that next step in your relationship, as I just suggested. Or maybe you want to upgrade your ring. They have you covered there at Dillon Rings. This is just a small sample. I'm looking at their Facebook page. Go check it out. Go to Dillon Rings on Facebook. A small sample of the rings they have in store. They can find or make. And Josh Ryder's a true artist, folks. That guy really makes beautiful, beautiful jewelry. They can find you or make you a ring to meet your budget and your wish list. So it could be, again, an upgrade. It could be you're popping the big question. If you need a beautiful ring, beautiful diamond ring in particular, just go by Dillon Rings there. 119 Brown Springs Road, right here in Montgomery, just off of Atlanta Highway, kind of where AUM is. I remember it's where the old Fun Zone used to be.
That's right.
Old Fun Zone Skate Center. And be sure to tell Josh and Leslie that Joey, that fellow on the radio, sent you.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Put the power of Action 8 News in the palm of your hand. Download the free Action 8 News app to stay on top of breaking news wherever you are. Search for WAKA News in your app store to download the Action 8 News app today. Keep your family safe by watching Action 8 News. Look for 8 on Your Side consumer alerts with product recalls involving cars, food, children's toys, and other items in your home. 8 on Your Side, keeping you safe only on Action 8 News.
This holiday season, visit Boot Barn for top quality gifts that pay tribute to the lasting heritage of the West. From handcrafted cowboy boots and American-made felt hats to leather jackets, our in-store experts will help guide you as you shop, assisting with boot fitting and providing complimentary hat shaping. This holiday, share a piece of the American spirit. Boot Barn. Unwrap the West.
Sometimes I struggle to get to sleep. My body stopped for the day, but my mind is still running. So I take ZQuil.
ZQuil, the world's #1 sleep aid brand, has a range of non-habit-forming products to fit you and your family's needs. Invest in a great night's sleep for the best you tomorrow.
I'm awake and ready to take on anything.
Better days start with ZQuil nights. Explore our products at ZQuil.com. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
Hi, this is Don Duncan with Don Duncan's All-American Automotive and Tire. Just want to say a big thank you to Blue Water Broadcasting. They've been a big partner in our success. And again, thank you guys so much for all you've done for us. If you need anything, come see us. Again, this is Don Duncan with All-American Auto and Tire.
Did you know that radio is the #1 reach platform in all of media? It's true. Call us to find out how to put radio's #1 reach to work for your business. Blue Water Broadcasting. Local folks helping local business.
Rich Thomas Weather, a service of Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, where over-the-road dump truck drivers are needed right now. Home twice a week and every weekend, must leave early on Sunday with Blue Cross Blue Shield. Call them now at 855-777-9785.
We've got some big-ticket weather to deal with as a front approaches. Periods of rain and some thunderstorms today and tonight. Locally heavy rainfall amounts. Some of the storms strong, possibly severe, with damaging wind gusts the main threat. Breezy today, high in the low 70s. Turning colder late tonight as the rain comes to an end. Overnight low 43. Wednesday's a raw day. Windy and cold. High temperature 51. Down to 29 on Wednesday night. And a chilly day on Thursday with sunshine and a high around 53. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
We're redesigning financial freedom at CB&S Bank. Make purchases at participating stores and restaurants using your CB&S Bank debit card through your mobile devices with Mobile Wallet. Charges and fees may apply for your cellular service provider. Contact your service provider for more information. Member FDIC.
The River Region's first and only news talk station on FM. Live, local talk. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Your host, Joey Clark. Eddie Bader here in the studio.
How you doing, buddy?
doing today, Eddie?
All right.
As is Byron Sheehy. How you doing today?
I'm doing well.
So you were stuck downtown without an umbrella.
Oh, yeah. I was coming in wet and hot, not the good kind.
Yeah, I kind of smell like wet dog, too.
I call it wet politics.
Well, because I wanted to go by the Walgreens to get a few things, and it was coming down to where it's like just, okay, my hydroplane on this term, but I get there, and I get out in the rain. I don't have an umbrella either. And I get up to the door, and they have a handmade sign that says, "Power's out, we're working on it." Gummit! So I get back in the car, and finally I get what I need. But, what a mess.
I was about your age when I put an umbrella in my car. And I always have it in there. And I won't say always, because there are times when I use it, and I forget to bring it back.
Right.
But as a default, I'll buy a $5 umbrella, stick it in my car. 90% of the time, I have it when I need it.
Well, maybe next year, whenever I get a year older, I'll remember to get the umbrella out of the car.
There's trickery involved, yeah.
No, I'm still in that phase of like, oh man, I can walk
I do too.
through the rain.
You just get soaked, and you're like, I got other stuff to do today.
Well, normally it's not bad, but this particular storm rolling through, this whole front running through, man, that's big old drops of rain.
I was drenched. I mean, like,
yeah, you were drenched when you got in.
Oh, I changed. Like, I was.
Your hair was soaking wet when you come in, like you just stepped out of the shower.
I was the second one this morning.
I thought, I was thinking of the scene of, Forrest Gump Bubba talking about all the different types of rain, and man, different types of shrimp, different types of rain.
Well, these were the big fat raindrops that bounced up and hit you once yeah.
So, y'all be safe driving out there.
Yeah, what's a little slippery coming in?
Yeah, I haven't seen the neighborhood that flooded, actually. A whole side of the road on not a big road flooded up.
My guess would be leaves are falling, drains are clogged.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because I know my gutters around there.
Oh, I know the backyard is completely underwater.
Yeah, you see that lake out there and the floating leaves?
Because we've got like 3 or 4 drains back there, but they're little plastic ones, and anytime it's heavy rain, it's like, yep, look at the pond out back. It's fine, but a lot of runoff. Have you ever gotten into runoff wars? Like where it's a homeowners association thing, and like somebody does a thing, and so it just,
in the real estate world, that's crossed.
You know what I mean?
Time or two, yeah.
I feel like you may have instigated some of those.
No, it wasn't me. It's the place my parents bought. It was the last lot in County
There you
Downs. And the guy who they bought it from was a strange dude, to where he was so sensitive about his property line. He built a short, like 3 foot, 4 foot brick wall right on the property line. And that blocked a major flow. The back of the yard, you would see water flow to a massive storm drain the city had already put in. And so the water wasn't getting to the massive storm drain, and it was flooding everybody's yard in the area. So my dad took care of it. He just knocked out part of the brick wall, built privacy fence on top of the brick wall.
There you go.
Yeah, but still, it was like, this weirdo.
Oh, you get a lot of people like that. Driveway wars, man.
Driveway wars.
Oh, between the little strip of grass between the driveways. Say it's a foot wide. I've seen people split it. That's his side over there. I'm not cutting it. I'm like, you look like a moron. You got 6 inches of cut grass and 6 inches of high grass.
Do you think we've lost something from being unmoored or lacking the roots? Like, a family stays in the same house over many generations.
Yeah.
And now everybody goes and moves, and like rightfully so.
Right.
All my family's moved, seeking work or, better lifestyle, whatever. But I had the thought as I'm pulling out of the driveway that house I'm staying in right now, I did a lot of construction cleanup.
Mhm.
And I remember vividly picking up after the masonry came by, picking up bricks. And the main place I was going to put the bricks, or told to put the bricks, was where the driveway would be.
Mhm.
So I'm like, as I'm pulling out, I'm like, man, I remember doing that. The memory flooded back as I'm listening to, Honkin' on Bobo by Aerosmith, that album they came out with, and The Darkness and all that stuff. But it's something about like how transient we are. And it is a good thing. The whole Jordan Peterson's new book, We Who Wrestle with God, is fantastic. And a big part of the book is focusing on God is the spirit of adventure, the call to adventure to Abraham. So there's nothing wrong with going out and seeing the world and braving the unknown, so to speak. But there does seem to be something lost where that it's not the family home that's been in the family for a long time. It's now just another house in the suburbs.
Yeah.
And 3 or 4, I know the house my parents sold. They're like 3 or 4 people have lived in that place. I remember helping build that. And it's like, I don't know. I'm just musing about this, I suppose. But it seems like we've lost something.
Do you find yourself going to the family member that's either the oldest or has been in a single place the longest? Like you have a relative over in Auburn, right? So do you?
No, they just moved there.
Well, never mind.
Yeah, my
Completely
dad
goes
just
out.
moved to the coast.
Got you.
No, I'm living with my grandfather, and that house was built, in the early aughts. So that's the longest I think somebody stayed in a place in the family.
I've had the good fortune of trying to get home to the same location for better part of 36, 37 years.
Just to the south of here?
Yeah, Geneva.
Nice.
My brother bought my the house that we grew up in.
Oh, cool.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
That really is beautiful.
So my niece she's using the room that I grew up in.
Okay.
That's cool.
Yeah, it is
Awesome.
cool.
Yeah, and it's actually an old Greek tradition where they would, if you had daughters, the father would buy homes for his daughters to own. And the whole idea was kind of like, well, if the man that you
always
match with, you always got a home, you can tell them to leave your home. Like,
That's right.
your home, your
got a
hearth
place.
and home is yours as the woman. And again, there's a lot of these old-timey traditions that have really gone out the window, and I don't think it's for the better necessarily.
Well, we kind of had that with the whole cougar situation now. So
The cougar situation?
yeah, single
Cougar, like-
ladies.
Oh, yeah, well, that's growing
Yeah.
by the day.
So
Well, I'm just getting tired of that pixie cut or whatever the heck that short hair look is.
With a little bit of blue or purple.
No, I don't even mind the hair coloring. It's like, I think we're going to look back on a lot of this stuff and be like, what the heck is You know how you look back on,
On the
look at
80s?
the 70s, look at the 80s,
Yeah.
look at
Good
the
times,
90s.
baby.
Man,
Good
when
times.
you look back at, say, the 2010s, that is going to be the weirdest freaking time because so much changed so fast.
yeah, and for me personally, going back and looking at the '90s, even though it seems like yesterday, and
Yeah,
it's
it does.
definitely not yesterday, that's still kind of surreal. But to your point, just what were y'all thinking? The early '80s have to be kind of the standout to me, going from disco to the
Where-
excess of the '80s.
Yeah,
Come on
wearing
now.
like underwear on stage
I
and
mean, women hair like this,
Oh, yeah,
the,
big
the
hair.
fabric, everything like draping off. I mean, it was just
oh yeah, but I have to say it's probably, I know a lot of folks love the classic rock era out of the late 60s and the 70s, and there's a lot of great music. I do not. That's a golden age of rock and roll music. But the 80s, especially early 80s, you're talking about one of the most eclectic mixes
Yeah.
of great music.
Top 40 was crazy. You'd have country songs run through
Yeah.
the top 40.
Yeah, well, you could go from, John Mellencamp to Boy George to Michael Jackson.
well straight in the heads, man. Dire Straits in the head.
Oh yeah, like there's just so much variety, and now music seems everything's a loop is a loop is a loop. There's a lot of that going on. There's still some great music out there, but anyway, I'm more in a mood to reminisce today.
But that's more like along the lines of old corporate media dying. I think it was maybe 10 years ago, there was an article that approximately like 60% of all music played across the country was, basically the same playlist.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Program playlist. Yeah.
Well, and it used to be talk to Greg Udell or talk to our boss Rick about this. It used to be you as a jock like Greg, working that morning show in Miami, you were a tastemaker.
Yep.
Like the regional hits could come out of regions out of nowhere, and it could be like you weren't in the industry necessarily. And I think we've kind of lost that, though the internet adds a different twist now. You're seeing some bands get popular as independents.
Well, dude, there's been movies that the bagman, is dropping off money to the DJ to make sure that the album gets played.
Well, that's old school payola sort of thing. Yeah, that's a whole other conversation.
DJs get nervous when you mention payola.
Mm-hmm.
They sure do.
Today they probably say, "What is that?"
No, they still get pretty nervous. I think there's like a 101 school or 101 class to become a DJ. You have to sign this form, and that's the story of payola. And you must agree you never talk about it.
Well, I'm not like a mayor. Like, if you wanted this thing, you got to pay me. That's what mayors do, right? That's what senators
I've never been a mayor. I don't know.
Even the judge might do it. Not Napolitano, but you know what I'm talking about.
A lot of folks engage in that kind of behavior.
Right, and it can even be like legal graft. It's like, you don't have to give me cash, but, when you're going to use this service, why don't you use these services over there? Isn't that what got my covered, actually?
I believe it was
we get a lot of people if they look a little further.
Having a specific bill written for a singular client. That was one of the charges.
Yeah, if I want to do payola, you just become a politician.
Exactly.
Right.
Well, then it's not payola. Then it's just business.
Business.
But in talk radio, I mean, let's say you picked a particular side or a particular narrative, and they're paying you. Would that not be a payola?
Wait, somebody's paying you a salary?
No, not the salary. No, Joey, I want you to talk about this bill in particular.
They give you money under the table?
I want you to push this as a
that would
positive.
be payola.
Yeah.
Yes.
I thought.
Now, if somebody buys advertising, like if you do it, payola is when it's under the table. It's off the books.
Right.
Yeah.
I had a politician flat out tell me one time, said, "Byron, do you know how hard it would be to be convicted of corruption in this state?" I was like, "No, why don't you tell me?" So, you literally have to be sitting across the table from someone and them virtually say, "I will give you A in exchange for B." And you have to say, "Okay, I will do B in exchange for A." Like, that's how difficult the standard is.
That's just
ridiculous, but I can see
this
it.
Is the darndest place. And you know what? With all that money sloshing around up north, not northern part of the country, the northern part of this state.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And that's the reason you're getting most of your leaders there. That's where all the votes are. It's where all the money
Follow
is.
the money, man. Most of these squabbles are always about money.
Yep. But it's a shame because, born and raised here in Montgomery, and it sounds like your family mostly hails from South Alabama.
Northwest Florida, so
yeah,
Southwest,
they're pretty much the same. Can we annex part of the Panhandle?
Why didn't we take it all the way down?
You don't want the Redneck Riviera?
No, we'll take Pensacola. They can.
Yeah, Pensacola's not.
They can have.
Pensacola's be great.
Yeah,
where I'm from.
But it is kind of a shame being from South Alabama. You look and go, we don't really have power. We have the seat of government here. But all the money, all the power, most of the population that wins elections is north of Birmingham.
I want to say the only member of leadership south of Birmingham is All Britain.
Yeah.
Is that right?
It's because Greg's good at what he does.
Longevity.
Yeah. I like that guy. But it's just, I don't know. What a weird state. Like, we need to pick it up. I was so happy yesterday. We read the article in the interview. Andrew Sorrell called for a Bitcoin reserve in the state.
Good.
State Auditor Sorrell. So that's beautiful.
Oh,
maybe more will jump on.
Did you see the article over the weekend about the El Salvadorian president?
Finding all that gold?
Well, all that Bitcoin gold.
Yeah.
Well, both. They found massive gold
I
reserve,
didn't see that.
veins of gold, like to mine. And yes, they were very early into buying, as a nation, a bunch of Bitcoin, and they're doing all right.
This article was just solely on that.
Okay, yeah, they're doing all right. I don't know what the average cost of a Bitcoin was, but say they bought most of their Bitcoin when it was 30,000, and it's sitting, what, at 100 around that?
Okay, so part of the process is mining, right?
Yeah, part of it.
Does this dude not have an unfair advantage having a country's utilities at his disposal? Like, why wouldn't he just?
That's something.
No, but go ahead.
I mean, that's a good point. That's something I've always wondered. If I were a leader like that, and what is keeping me from going? Okay, today is Department of Eddie, and we're going to make all these Bitcoin machines right here.
We're going to piggyback them on all of our power plants.
Yeah. And you guys don't bother me no more.
Yeah.
What keeps them from doing that? Just
nothing.
Fear.
No, and this is why I'm kind of constantly talking about it.
Revolt down there, but
start small.
This is why I'm constantly talking about it here in Montgomery. It's like, it's not just like Pennsylvania's thinking about it, Florida's thinking about it, the federal government under Trump is thinking about it. Eric Trump came out, I think yesterday, predicting $1 million of Bitcoin fairly swiftly.
Wow.
It's also other nations looking into this. And it'd just be nice to be a little bit ahead of the curve, because we can make this a very attractive state for crypto, whether you're just holding it and you have a friendly regulatory environment,
right.
Or like, think of all the land we have here. Like, it'd be ripe for mining. It's just, I don't know.
Man, we're going to have to set that aside for data centers. We got priorities in this state, man.
Facebook with solar panels and sheep. Yeah, when I heard about the sheep thing, I'm like, okay, that's kind of cool.
Can we put them on like a hamster wheel so that the sheep are just doing that number the whole time?
No, they're grazing to keep the grass down around the solar panels.
Yeah.
272-9228 if you want to get in on the conversation. I think the rain has made me a little silly
it's just
today.
frustrating. In Alabama, we got all this potential, but this is what we're doing.
I know.
That's what's so frustrating.
Well, I want you to think about this, though, too. With all the people leaving some of these other states, our state's going to get a little less conservative.
Yeah, especially in the north.
It's super important that we have good conservative leadership.
Oh, yeah.
And,
No doubt.
and I don't just mean, the bullet points on the brochure. Like, people's records actually should matter.
Didn't you see I was in a church pew when I ran for office?
I
In my
saw it 'cause
commercial?
he was
See
in
my
the photo.
commercial? Yeah.
Let's go to line one. You're on there. Who's this? Hello?
Hello?
Anybody there? No? Okay.
Nope.
Well, I'm going to go to line three. You're on there. Who's this?
Soldier Boy.
Hey,
Soldier Boy.
good to hear from you, man. How you doing?
Did y'all miss me?
Of course.
Yes, actually. And we now know somebody who works with you.
Oh, you do?
Mr. Spot.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. What's interesting is about all these liberals are about, having these battery charged, trimmers, lawnmowers, edgers, everything, and cars and everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever actually watched a documentary, I forgot what the name of it was, about these children in Angola, these little black children in Angola, digging with their hands?
Yeah, lithium mines. Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Cobalt.
Yeah.
And it makes them, where's Black Lives Matter on that one?
Well, they got other problems like vigilantism.
They're a domestic organization.
Right, yeah. They're not concerned about the world.
The domestic.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's simply, I watched them and I was like, and then do you think what is it? Coal does a lot of tearing up of the land in this country. Man, when they were digging for cobalt, man, it leaves it back nasty.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There's-
soil.
Yeah, you can't bring it back either. There's no bringing it back.
Yeah. So if you're always pro-environmentalist, how can you be pro-electric?
Because that's what the media
Right.
said, and we're doing the right thing. I saw a crazy speculative technological breakthrough where it's Mercedes-Benz in Australia claims they've come up with this new paint that could be painted on a car and it would act like one huge solar panel.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. We'll see how cost effective
Hey,
it
you know
is.
they-
That's pretty cool.
I
you
guess
know
they're
they
finally doing
bring
it. Yeah,
back
it's been around a bit.
Hey, Eddie, only two things if you bring back the $99 enamel paint job and
Earl Side,
polyurethane paint job.
$99.99. You got it.
You know it, baby.
Yep.
You got it, baby. And that $99 I found out when I was a kid, 16. I got my Mustang painted. That $99 does not include taping up and everything else.
Correct.
And free it.
That's right. We do windows and all.
That's exactly right. I was like, I went in there. I said, here's $100. He goes, okay. He said, it's going to be an extra $35 for taping this up and taping the. I said, what do you mean? He said, yeah. I said, you just paint over the shit?
Yep.
He goes, yeah.
Paint over everything, tires and all, headlights. Yep.
Hey, Eddie, thank God they don't do that at Hyundai, huh?
No, they don't do that no more.
And I went to that tour at Hyundai, and I was pretty impressed, man. They take that bare metal and they magnetize it, and the paint goes right to it.
Yes, that's what Eddie used to do there. I used to.
Oh, you painted? You were the painter?
No, I was in charge of all the chemicals that came through there. I'm the reason that car got magnetized and the paint stuck to it.
And the chemicals went missing.
Electro deposition.
Did you have Fordite come out of all that?
Is that what it is?
All the
Wow.
painting? You know what Fordite is? It's like
Sludge.
yeah, but people will like harvest it, like kind of and chip it and have made things out of it. Like it is still very, it's almost like a stone.
Well, what they've done with sludge now, and I guess it's been probably 15 years now. That a lot of that fake stone that you see on houses, that's just paint sludge. That's the easiest way to get rid of paint sludge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I saw like somebody had a
But Eddie,
paperweight and a pen. It's pretty cool, like all the layers and stuff.
Yeah.
To me, that's so cool and interesting when I saw that. I mean, I'm used to the old days of, first the guy spray painting with the hand, back and forth, prepping. And then I got used to the robotics come out there and spray little, an angle and spray everything. Now, put the whole damn thing in there and let the paint go.
Yeah, well, it kind of looks that way, but it's a little more complicated than that. When you first apply like a primer and a metal coat to it, it goes through about 20 different swimming pools and gets coated that way. But once it actually gets painted, it's going through a booth, and you've got robots that paint it, or roebucks that paint it.
Okay. So I'm not. So it is. We're still back to the old robots doing each panel and everything.
Well, not really each panel. They do pretty much the whole body. It's
Right.
kind of a complicated process, but.
What do you mean you said pretty much the whole body? What body parts do they do not do?
Well, your bumpers and things like that. That's going to come from another supplier.
Oh, okay. And that's plastic, but that's a different type of paint too, because it's being sprayed onto a rubber adhesive, right?
Correct. But that plant out there, the electro deposition and the road dip, that's I think of only 1 in 5 in the whole world when I was there. It might be another one now, but it wasn't very many. So, pretty unique.
Is that a good way to paint cars?
Yes, it is. Really good way. It comes with its own unique challenges, but no, it's one of the best. At that time, that was one of the best ways to do it, and help save the environment at the same time, I guess you'd say.
Fascinating.
Knew this was coming.
Who's that?
That would be Joey.
Hey, and here's something interesting. When I used to sell cars and everything, to me, the most best paint jobs were Mercedes and BMW. They were just about at least 0.5 millimeters thickness.
Right.
Fascinating.
All right.
Yeah.
Why is that?
It's not. To be quite honest, it's not. It's the same.
Well,
same
anyway,
company,
Soldier
same
Boy,
apply-
I appreciate
application.
the call, man. I got to run.
This episode of Car Talk.
All right, man.
See you, Soldier Boy.
Merry Christmas, you filthy animal.
272-9228.
I never knew that about you. That's kind of cool.
You didn't know all that stuff?
Mm-mm.
No, Eddie's
Good to know.
Eddie's lived a long, interesting life. I think we've established it's a bit of a dark comedy.
Oof. Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
272.
They spent probably a couple $1 million on teaching me.
That's money well spent.
It was.
I mean, you're still doing it now, obviously.
Well, ironically enough, there's some friends of mine out there that work in that department and will call me up when they have challenges, and we can work through them.
Touche.
Again, that number 272-9228. That's 334-272-9228. We seem to have a much larger audience online today. So if you're just tuning in online, this is a local talk radio show out of all places, Montgomery, Alabama.
The Gump.
And we cover all sorts of topics, mostly politics, but today it's pretty free form. And coming up, this really caught my attention. There is a proposed $20 trillion tunnel, for a transatlantic tunnel from New York to London in 54 minutes.
Really?
20 trillion was the proposal. Elon tweeted about this, saying the Boring Company could do it for 1,000x less money. So maybe we're going to get like more tunnels connecting, your continents across the ocean.
I don't like it, but I kind of don't.
Why does this make sense logistically?
It's like the one in Vegas. It's a tourist thing.
Just because you can do something doesn't mean that you should do something.
Plus, do we want all those Londoners coming over here?
Well, we'll get into it in just a second. We'll be right back.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Make 2024 the year you break away from the chain stores and join us here at Adams Drugs. We value your business and want to provide you the best customer service at the lowest possible price. We've been serving up excellent customer service here in the River region for over 62 years.
I made the swap to Adams Drugs and I couldn't be happier. Having a job and then getting 3 kids to all of their activities keeps me busy. I don't have an hour to waste waiting on a prescription. At Adams, they know me and my family. I get in and out in minutes, and when I can't get by Adams, they'll bring the prescription right to my door.
What are you waiting for? Come in to Adams Drugs and let us earn your business. Our friendly and personal staff will talk with you and answer any questions you may have about your prescriptions. Your satisfaction is our #1 goal. Visit us at adamsdrugs.net for the location nearest to you. Adams Drugs is your local independent Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
Has your once proud vehicle seen better days? Fear not, help is on the way. Mr. Ben's Auto Spa on the Atlanta Highway has opened a professional detail shop. This is detailing redefined. Specialized techniques and products are used to get your vehicle back to showroom style. Hand washing, waxing, stain removal, odor removal, minor scratch removal, shampooing, and more. Mr. Ben's Auto Spa, next to Fraser Church on the Atlanta Highway. Now offering professional detail services. Look like you've been to Mr. Ben's.
Live, local talk. The River Region's most trusted voice for news and opinion. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Is cocaine a stronger up?
Yeah. Cocaine
So you're way up with cocaine more than anything else you can think of.
Cocaine will turn you into a damn owl, homie. You know what I'm saying?
This is a Trump country. We live in the Southeast. We drink sweet tea. We don't drink socialist Kool-Aid.
Joey Clark.
Oh, welcome back to the program. 272-9228, like I said, if you want to get in on the conversation. So, where we left off with this whole transatlantic tunnel.
Yeah.
Proposals for a tunnel connecting the UK to the US underneath the Atlantic Ocean have resurfaced, but with a price tag of almost $20 trillion. The idea of a transatlantic tunnel has existed for a while, though issues of scale, cost, and utility have long stifled any realistic developments. While a flight between London and New York City takes around 8 hours, it had previously been unclear if trains running underneath the ocean would make the journey fast enough to justify the cost of construction.
Mm-hmm.
While the two global cities being over 3,000 miles apart, construction would take several years. The 23.5-mile channel tunnel linking England and France.
In the underpants?
Took 6 years to construct and required significant investment. Estimates over the cost have reached as high as $15.5 trillion euros, the equivalent of $19.8 trillion. However, developments in vacuum tube technology have made the concept more viable.
So like the bait tubes?
Yep.
Is that what we're doing?
Yep. By creating a vacuum within the tunnel and using pressurized vehicles, so you would have no friction. It would be completely frictionless. Trains traveling along the structure could theoretically reach speeds more than 3,000 miles per hour, making the journey between London and New York City barely an hour long. This is because trains would not face any air resistance within the tunnel, allowing them to reach high speeds that unconventional trains.
Right.
The design, which has seen new development in India transportation, is sometimes called a hyperloop, which Elon Musk and the Boring Company has talked a while about. But cutting the intercontinental journey down to a matter of minutes means that for the first time, the transatlantic tunnel justifies the hefty price tag that undersea construction comes with, as it would become significantly more efficient and environmentally friendly than flying.
No.
However, there is still no set design for the tunnel. Various proposals have suggested a tunnel underneath the ocean floor, while others have suggested building it on stilts. Eddie doesn't seem sold. One design even proposed the tunnel float, held in place by cables attached to the ocean floor.
These guys are high. Come on, man.
The Channel tunnel linking France to the UK was built over a 6-year period. If the transatlantic tunnel were built at the same speed, it would take 782 years to cross the 3,000-mile gap between the U.S. and Britain.
Maybe we could start with like a smaller scaled down version from LA to Las Vegas. Let's see if we can do that.
That could be very good. And that's what, minutes? It would be like 10 minutes?
I think it's about 2-hour drive, I'm told.
Yeah, so you can go real fast. Like, you're there pretty quick.
I've looked at it, and I think, outside the eastern seaboard, like that route right there, as far as foot traffic or car traffic, that would make the most sense as far as where to, have any sort of high-speed rail built.
But did you mention going 3,000 miles an hour?
Yes. What?
Wasn't your grandfather, didn't he have something to do with the high-speed plane?
Yeah, with the SR-71, the Blackbird.
Ask him how the human body, 3,000
How
miles
many
an hour.
G's would that would?
Just ask him if that's
I
even
don't.
feasible.
Yeah, but like this has been in talk a while. I wonder if there's something with it being a vacuum that mitigates that, because you're not getting that air friction.
You'd have to be in a pressurized tube, but
yes.
Remember those guys that went to the bottom of the ocean a year or so ago, and that pressure?
Yeah, those billionaires.
How that worked
Well,
out?
I think what
Just
happened
the
is they
littlest
ran across
hairline crack?
before they heard those cracks. They saw the aliens. But Elon's saying I could do this. The Boring Company could do it for 1,000x less money.
Well,
That
I
doesn't
hope
surprise
so.
me.
$20 trillion.
Yeah, it's a lot of money.
For one, it's Elon, so
Right.
he knows that there's how much BS already built into that price tag, the original one. So
And I love that the Boring Company really did nothing, but they raised money by selling crazy products, like just a Boring Company
Yeah.
hat, and that's where the flamethrower came
that's
from.
right, exactly right.
And you know where Elon got that idea? Spaceballs.
Spaceballs.
When they go see yogurt,
Of all places.
and he's like, merchandising. Spaceballs the lunchbox. Spaceballs the towel. Spaceballs the flamethrower. Kids love this one.
See, I thought you were going to say Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, but you went with a different flamethrower.
But hey, Alabama, maybe we could do a Hyperloop from, Montgomery to somewhere.
Mm-mm.
No, that's not allowed. We got to do the data centers.
Man,
It'd be a great way to get to Birmingham without being stuck in traffic.
And
30
nice.
different
Hey,
times.
Will Ainsworth, we got a new idea.
Underground, baby.
or on stilts.
Let's be right back.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm John Scott. Dozens of reported drone sightings across New Jersey in recent weeks, rather. The FBI investigating reports of several mysterious nighttime drone flights that started occurring last month. The flights initially raised questions, partly because they happened near a U.S. military research and manufacturing facility and over President-elect Donald Trump's golf course in Bedminster. Governors and lawmakers in Republican-led states rolling out plans that could aid President-elect Trump's effort to deport millions of people living in the U.S. illegally. A growing number of states are proposing legislation to give local law officers the power to arrest people in the country illegally. On Wall Street, stocks mixed, the Dow dropping 16 points, the NASDAQ Composite ahead 14. This is SRN News.
Our nation's problems have been building for the past 50 years, and they're not going away overnight, which is why we must prepare now for a financial collapse that will affect the entire economy. The good news is there's an easy way to do that. Hi, I'm Dr. Ron Paul, and I believe everyone should consider a gold IRA from Birch Gold Group to diversify their IRA or 401k. Gold is a proven bedrock in almost every kind of economy. To learn more, get a free info kit from my trusted friends at Birch Gold by texting the word PREPARE to 989898. Don't wait until decades of government irresponsibility comes crashing down on your retirement. Get your free info kit on gold IRAs from the Birch Gold Group now. Text PREPARE to the number 989898. That's PREPARE to 989898.
Rich Thomas Weather, a service of Riverside Chevrolet Wetumpka. If it's Chevy, it's Riverside. Best price, best selection. Check them out on the web at riversideusa.net.
We've got some big ticket weather to deal with as a front approaches. Periods of rain and some thunderstorms today and tonight. Locally heavy rainfall amounts. Some of the storms strong, possibly severe, with damaging wind gusts the main threat. Breezy today, high in the low 70s. Turning colder late tonight as the rain comes to an end. Overnight low 43. Wednesday's a raw day. Windy and cold, high temperature 51. Down to 29 on Wednesday night. And a chilly day on Thursday with sunshine and a high around 53. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
For the lowest prices around on flooring and DIY flooring installation supplies, Budget Floors and More is your new best friend. Luxury vinyl plank, carpet, ceramic tile, floor installation supplies, and more with prices lower than the big box stores. Budget Floors and More, Hunter Lane across from Del Rey to Publix.
From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, these are today's top stories. A veteran Montgomery police officer has been charged with assault. 32-year-old DeAnthony Green was relieved of duty Monday and placed on administrative leave following a weekend domestic violence incident. Green joined the Montgomery Police Department in 2017 and was assigned to the Special Operations Division. Montgomery Catholic High School head football coach Kirk Johnson has been named 5A Coach of the Year by the Alabama Football Coaches Association. Johnson is 55-2 in his 4 years at Catholic High and has led the Knights to back-to-back state championships. Coach Johnson reached 50 wins faster than any high school coach in Alabama history. State Auditor Andrew Sorrell is calling on Alabama to lead the nation by establishing a strategic Bitcoin reserve. Sorrell believes this will drive business and investment to Alabama as a crypto-friendly state. Since Election Day, Bitcoin's price has skyrocketed over 50%, recently breaking the $100,000 mark. From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, I'm Sky Mosley.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
No one wants to wait on service for an overhead door. With 20 years in the industry, you now have access to the best with All Access Overhead Door. All Access Overhead Doors offers prompt professional service at affordable prices on all service and new garage doors for residential and commercial locations. All Access Overhead Door serves the river region and can take care of whatever you need when it comes to your overhead door. Remember, you have access to the best. All Access Overhead Door. Call and schedule an appointment today. 320-2440. And like them on Facebook. They sell the best and service the rest.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. 272-9228 if you want to get on the conversation. That's the number Simpler Days dialed. Hey, Simpler Days, how you doing?
Hey, pretty good. I was intrigued by the conversation about the transcontinental tunnel. If we have the ability, if we even are thinking about doing this, there's so many applications, and is either Eddie or Joey, somebody brought it up about the interstate system in this state, which is woefully behind other states.
Yeah.
It needs to, when you go through Texas, you can get on mainstream USA, interstate in Texas, north and south. It's multi-lanes, but yet you go through Louisiana, Shreveport. Oof. It's terrible. It's a log jam. So I just wish if they have the ability and they're thinking about this, that maybe Elon could help, with interstate systems in this country.
Well, and it would probably simplify it somewhat to keep it in Alabama, make it north-south, up the spine of Alabama, because as soon as you're crossing into other states, that just adds
more BS.
But if Alabama reached out to somebody like Elon, I'd imagine there would be some interesting conversations to be had. You would have to be serious about it.
Yeah. Why are we going north-south instead of, say, along 20 east-west? That's
a good
a question.
Well, because that's already where you're hitting your major cities. So you would kind of connect your major cities, Mobile, Montgomery, Birmingham, Huntsville.
Okay.
Well, as he just said, I mean, they've been talking about this since, I was a kid, about west. I mean, when you come from Mississippi, of course, you can hit 59 and go through Tuscaloosa and all that. But I mean, when you go through Meridian, if you want to come towards Montgomery, you go through the armpit of Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And I mean, there needs to be a connection to 85 right there that runs across west towards Mississippi, and it's been needing that for years. But I've always said, why couldn't you use the present interstate system, such as 65, running north and south, and in the center of it, either a monorail or either a bullet train, put in the center of the interstate system a rapid transit system that people could move and not have to worry about getting in the parking lot on 65.
A lot of parking rides.
I think the interstate system would still have to have its core function, from the military standpoint.
Sure. Absolutely. No, I don't think the interstate's going away, but I think one of the worst aspects of, say, the interstate all across the country is that you've got just regular passenger cars competing with major transportation, like of goods and whatnot.
I was just talking about the part about developing the part in the center.
Oh, okay.
You would still need the capability to be able to land, the jumbos.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the interstate system was originally built to move military troops in a time of an emergency.
Mm-hmm. Where did they get that idea? Where'd they get that idea?
I don't know where they got it, but it's been that way since.
I think it's the same place we got those rocket scientists up in Huntsville.
I was going to say World War II, but
But I mean, this interstate system in Alabama is, it was built in the 60s.
Right, and the population is what, gone 5x, and we're still on these same little roads that are beat to hell and back? Makes no sense.
In the mass trucking system now, with all the stuff being moved to Amazon and FedEx and everything else, it's just... I mean, you have to plan trips. If you're going to go to the airport or whatever, you better at least leave some time.
Oh, yeah.
Well, and with the port expansion, the bottlenecks do need to be removed north, south, and east-west. And that's definitely something maybe the Trump administration will look into.
Well, if we're thinking about Bitcoin, maybe we can think about improving the interstate system in the state.
You're here.
We got all kinds of systems that need improvement.
We got all sorts of ideas today. Appreciate it, Simple Days.
Take Simple Days.
272-9228. Let's go to line 3. You're on there. Who's this?
Papa B.
Hey, Papa B.
Hey, guys. So, as much as I like Elon Musk, I am not going to crawl into a hamster tube that goes to the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean.
What's the worst that could happen?
Travel across it. No, absolutely not. I'd rather blow up in the air than, be drowned, I guess. I don't know. I mean, to me, it's almost like penguins playing leopard seal lotto. One's going to jump off the cliff and get eaten, or the rest of them could go ahead and get free. How many times are you going to take that chance, man?
Well,
I'm telling you, something changed. This is not a good idea. And the time that I would see is the time that we get an earthquake in Greenland.
But it's just practical. What are you gonna ship between the two that can fit in a tube? What's the big benefits of this?
People.
I did agree.
I don't want that many Londoners here.
Ordinary men.
It's the deportation rail, man.
If that's the case, that's fine, but it's going the wrong direction.
We're just going to build it one way, straight from here to Latin America.
If we got one going south, okay, but I don't know.
That's just well, a little bit too much for me. But I called today to talk about this misplaced priority list that we've got going on with the liberals. I don't know what it is about their. I guess it's a masochistic tendency or whatever, but they arrest the guy that saves a woman or person in the subway. It was a Marine.
Yep.
And try to prosecute him.
9 ways to Sunday.
But, they have no problem letting people go that do awful, awful things. Just letting them completely off the hook. Why? It's just so backwards in its thinking. I mean, I certainly don't understand it. I'm sure that any right-thinking person would have a hard time understanding it, But I was thinking mainly about these, J6ers that have been locked up now for 4 years, right? Mm-hmm. And now there's this talk about, Trump's going to release the J6. Well, they've been locked up for 4 years. Is that enough punishment? And without a trial, by the way. No trial, no fair trial, as we are guaranteed in the Constitution. They've been locked up for 4 blinking years. Joey, I don't want to make a big deal out of this, but it's worth mentioning. A very close family member of mine was murdered. And the guy got convicted of murder. Do you know how long he's been in jail?
How long?
2 years. 2 years.
Good God.
2 years. That's all. I mean, the trial, it took a great effort, just to get him there because...
It probably took 2 years to get him in there.
It took about 2-3 years to get him in there, and then finally he spent 2 years in there. And they want to complain about the J6ers getting released? I don't think so. And, I mean, not only that, but Ashley Babbitt shot, unarmed, shot in the back.
Yep.
And the policeman, the officer, so-called officer, gets an award for it. Misplaced priority. Things are backwards. People are going to have to answer for some of this stuff, and I think they finally probably will, hopefully. With Sam Bondi coming in, with Chesterfield coming in, I don't think anybody's going to stop their appointment. I think the people that were kind of hesitant are sort of rolled back on the hill. What do you think about that? You think that Trump's going to go ahead and get his appointment?
Yes, I think all the appointments at this point are going to be put
including the Department of Defense. Of course,
Pete Hegseth, I think is golden. Tulsi's going to have a ringer to go through. I think Tulsi Gabbard, but I think she'll survive. And RFK Jr. Those committee hearings are going to be primetime viewing. So
I don't think they're going to be committee hearings.
Really?
Oh, really?
I think no. They're getting it all lined up. So on day one, it can be bring them in assembly line style. They're approved. They have to vote on them. Bing, 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 bing. That's what the goal is. Not this long, drawn-out 3-month thing of the Democrats sitting there and squawking about it. No, sir. This is going to be line them up, get them in the office. Day one, they're active.
As Trump told the guys on Flagrant, the whole strategy is pew, pew, bing, bing, boom, pew. You got to be quick.
Well, believe it or not, we only got 4 years, and it goes by in a real big hurry.
Sure does.
I'm telling you, this is going to be a very intense 4 years, and there might be so much news we can't even get to it all. Y'all can't get to it all. In a 24-hour cycle, it will be cycling so much, especially things that are just really needed to be talked about, but they won't be able to even get to them, I think. So, anyway, I'm kind of excited for it, but, misplaced priorities, the people that have that kind of proclivity, they need to be squashed and thrown out with the trash.
Well,
all right.
Appreciate it, Bobby.
Right,
Thanks, Bobby.
I mean, are we to a point where we could have those pocket appointments?
You could, but you could also expedite the whole process too, the normal process.
I mean, you got to be confirmed, right?
Yeah, you have to be.
Okay.
Well, you could do recess appointments.
That's what I meant by a pocket appointment.
Yeah, that could happen, and you would then be acting. I don't think you get a salary if you do it that way. And also, it'd be better for the changes some of these folks want to make, whether it's Health and Human Services or DOD or the intelligence community. You need them confirmed by the Senate.
But is that not statute? I mean, how the...
Oh, it's constitutional. The Senate, there's an advise and consent function of the Senate for any presidential appointee, but it's also been established in Supreme Court precedent that the recess appointments are constitutional.
Okay, what case was that, you recall?
I don't, off the top of my head, I don't know. But it's been done. Trump did it in his first term. It is limited in the sense that you're acting, but as that particular position, but you're not quite as like full in it as if you were confirmed. So we'll see. I think Thune has made it very clear he wants to move fast in the Senate. We'll see what the House does.
I was talking with someone earlier today who's got a connection to someone who's going to go through the confirmation process. And that person told me that the only thing this person's worried about right now is getting confirmed. So to me, that made it seem like it wouldn't be, a pocket appointment.
Right. Well, we'll see. I think the current lineup is going to get through, but how it's done, how quickly it's done, again, we'll see. 272-9228. Let's go to line 4. You're on there. Who's this?
Hey, guys.
Hey, Robert.
Hey, Robert.
Hey, man, I've been listening to the show, and so I'm going to harken back to the interstate thing.
Yeah, man.
And I could be wrong, but I think in World War II, they saw how the Autobahn in Germany facilitated the Blitzkrieg, and through the intelligence of our government, they said, well, shoot, we got to have an interstate. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, no, Eisenhower very much is looking at that.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And I'm not trying to sidetrack y'all. I was listening to the other guy, and I do got a lot of feelings, on that. Not that I disagreed, but can you remind me what y'all, I know it was just 3 seconds ago. What was y'all talking about? Just give me a jolt.
Like the appointments, presidential appointments, are they going to go through and having the wrong priorities when it comes to stopping crime?
That's right. We're talking about different senators and this and that and other thing. And what I really feel about it is when you say, hey, if you don't vote this way or vote that way, we're going to primary you. Well, you're thinking about your Republican establishment, or you're thinking about your Democrat establishment. What I'd like to tell all those elites up there is the American voters that you need to listen to. So when all these nominees come up, we voted for Donald Trump. We want these nominees. You can stand up there and look like Liz Cheney all you want. But you do that on your own. In other words, and then if you're so old up there, there's no harm in retiring. In other words, I didn't want to retire, but y'all sent my job somewhere else. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. It's, I mean, the Senate in particular, man, like, what, Lindsey Graham was just reelected? Lindsey doesn't have to worry about re-election for another, 4 or 5 years now. So, like, there's a lot of them up there who also have been senator forever in their respective states, and it's very, very difficult in certain states to unseat an incumbent, especially a senator.
Well, there's no doubt it's difficult. Just look at Nancy Pelosi. No doubt how hard it is. But what I'm trying to say is those elites need to understand it's the American public. Now,
I agree.
You may think you're reading polls and stuff. You better read them right. In other words, because if you're making all your decisions off polls, then you don't have a compass. You see what I'm saying?
I do. Well, I appreciate the call, Robert.
See you, Robert.
All right. See you,
buddy.
Let's go to line 1. You're on there. Who's this?
Hey, this is Sam.
Hey,
Pike
Sam.
County. Gentlemen. All the talk about the appointees and committees, it got me thinking. I'm healing up fast, and I'll be looking for a new job soon. I sure would like a new plum job. And I'm wondering who is, a government job, plum, university government. I'm wondering who, I'm greedy. I want to be over the no-fly list. That nice little list that people kept getting their names added to. I figure I'd be just the one to add some names and control that list and keep it good and safe. I know I wouldn't want anyone to be on the no-fly list for a politically motivated reason. Oh, dang, I just lied. Oh, God, Lord, that's awful. Oh, buddy. Oh, yeah, I got a bunch of people I ground. Anyways, I just wanted to share that, guys.
Well, I appreciate it, Sam.
Sammy.
Yeah, man. Yeah, wish me luck. I'm driving around Montgomery here in a minute.
All right.
All right.
See you, bro.
All right.
272-9228. That's 334-272-9228. This part of the program brought to you by Pest Pro Services. And they're at Pest Pro, Ashley and that fantastic team are ready to help you with any and all of your pest control needs, especially if you have an emergency rush job in mind. You want to make sure the house is perfect in terms of no ants, no cockroaches, no spiders, none of this stuff, especially with the in-laws coming to visit.
You know, you're going to have visitors for the holidays.
Especially your mother-in-law. She's wretched.
Going to talk about you.
What's that line I saw in that British comedy thing where it's like, I knew my mother-in-law was showing up because all the mice were throwing themselves on the traps. So if you have in-laws like that, then have Pest Pro come by. Make sure everything is all right on the pest control front.
Yeah.
And, of course, you should make them your everyday pest control company. And before I forget, they're doing Operation Blue Santa at Pest Pro Services. So go buy an unwrapped toy and hand it over to them at Pest Pro at their location, Main Street in Millbrook.
Right.
Brand new location. It's beautiful. And they will make sure that toy gets to somebody who very much needs it on Christmas Day.
Good cause, Joey.
So go buy an unwrapped toy for Operation Blue Santa there at Pest Pro Services. And, of course, you can always call them at 265-9990. That's 265-9990. Or you can always go to ppsriverregion.com or just search Pest Pro Services on the Book of Faces. When you want to know, call a pro. Pest Pro Services. And be sure to tell Ashley and that great team that Joey and Eddie, those fellas on the radio, sent you. So I want to go to the loser column here for a second. Because this guy, Mr. Throw Out Your Hands, Stick Out Your Tush, Mr. Twinkle Toes himself, Tim Walz, came out with, I don't even know where this interview's from. I don't know why he's even giving interviews at this point. It's just
won't go away.
Embarrassing. But here's Tim Walz talking about, well, the loss in early November.
I think we're going to have to understand what type of leadership do they want. We were pledging to be inclusive. We were pledging to bring people in. Donald Trump has said that isn't what he wants. And so if that's what America's leaning towards, I guess for me, it's to understand and learn more about America, because I thought that they were going to probably move towards a more positive message.
Well,
yeah, saying everybody who disagrees with you is a bad person and is full of hate. What a positive message! Goodness gracious. They will never learn. They will never learn.
They won't acknowledge their own positions,
Right.
or they can't. I mean, they don't want to believe that the extreme left has drugged their middle of the road position farther than the average voter, and that's what this election's shown.
Now, here's another one. This is, I don't know if we can stomach this, but we should listen for a second.
Yeah.
Joe Scarborough sitting down with Bill Clinton.
I'd rather listen to Bill than Joe.
Yeah,
let's listen to
that.
In the book about the 2016 election, this whole thing is hard for me to write. I couldn't sleep for 2 years after the election.
By the way, Bill Clinton has a new book out called Citizen.
He couldn't sleep because he was getting it on.
Yeah, and then when the governor's mansions are rocking, don't come a knocking.
I was so angry. I wasn't fit to be around. I apologize to all those who endured my outbursts, rage, which lasted for years, and bothered our board people who thought it was pointless to rehash things that couldn't be changed. In this chapter, I've tried to calmly write about the darkest election possible in the United States because it's important to understand what happened.
2016.
It's easier for us to know what happened in 2016 in some ways than it is what happened in 2024 in terms of all the, because in 2016, you had two highly unusual things. First of all, the mainstream media told the American people repeatedly that the biggest issue was Hillary's emails. That's what they said, not just Fox. When in fact, even the Trump State Department said she neither sent nor received a single solitary email on her personal device marked classified. One.
Okay. One, Bill, when she was put under subpoena, y'all purposely, after the subpoena, deleted 30,000 of those suckers. What? Why did you delete all of them?
He said personal device.
Yeah.
I mean,
And by the way, personal device in like her phone.
Right.
It was literally an entire server set up in their home. God, when they just won't admit it.
No.
They'll never admit how nasty they are. Look at him. He looks nasty.
You know that he had just... They had to send the first version back. He did not right. I was so angry.
You don't think that talented?
No.
But that's point number one. How dare they point out my wife's malfeasance when it comes to, following the law.
And two, she followed the rules as they then existed. The rules were changed after she left office. And yet the whole story was written as if she had done something hideous. And then James Comey made it worse.
In his July press conference where he came out, said she wasn't indicted, but for the first time decided he was going to pontificate about what he thought.
And he said she was careless, and I told the story in the book about how when President Obama called to tell me that bin Laden had been killed in this successful raid, he said, "We did it." And I said, "Did what?" He said, "We got bin Laden. Hillary didn't tell you?" And I laughed. I said, "Now, Mr. President, you told your people not to tell anybody, didn't you?" He said, "Yeah, but," I said, "she didn't tell anybody." I mean, Hillary's a sort of down the line person, So
unlike me,
it was ludicrous the extent to which people went to essentially fabricate a smear on her and I think they did it because they thought they had to mention something bad about her if they said something bad about Trump.
We saw this.
It's like a eulogy at a frickin' funeral. Like he looks dead already. And what? This is a book that they're focusing on something, the 2016 election, really? The same one y'all said for 2 years that the Russians stole? The same one where you laundered fake, made-up opposition research through the CIA and the FBI and then framed an incoming president for treason, taking out his incoming attorney general and his incoming national security advisor with that lie? Screw you, buddy. Like, this is ridiculous. They didn't... She didn't do anything wrong. She followed the rules.
I was going to ask do you think politicians think that the public believes if they write these words, they believe them any more than if they actually say them?
Some people do. People are like, I read Clinton's book, and here's the skinny.
Those are the people that always believed him and always want to see Republicans as
they're the ones that are going to buy it.
Evil,
right. Who else is going to buy
horns
it?
on their heads. Yeah.
Right. But it is just the myth making that continues to go on. And I think, again, this is another piece of the fallout from the corporate press dying and X in particular, the new media, the interest media taking over, is it used to be kind of like the story around Watergate. Watergate's kind of really the start. But also you could go back a little further to the whole story about McCarthyism. And it's like they were just over Joseph McCarthy in particular. Like, it was really, it's like, wait. Y'all were mad at Nixon, speaking of Watergate, because he outed Alger Hiss, who was going to be Secretary of State, and he was a frickin' Soviet spy. So you're like, wait, there are no communists in our country. No, like, literal Stalinist working for the Soviet regime. Well, what about Alger Hiss? Nixon was persona non grata by the media and the progressive establishment when he outed that. McCarthy's watching and sees, man, Nixon's pretty popular after he called out the Soviet spy. So McCarthy starts looking into it, and the American people loved it. Where it went wrong was not like all these, with Cohn and all these other things, the myth-making that's been made up around it. Where it goes wrong for McCarthy is, number one, he's a mess. He's not a good guy.
Right.
And he starts accusing Eisenhower of being a commie, essentially, and that's when the public turns on him.
So the other night I watched Good Night and Good Luck.
Yeah.
Which is kind of, centered around that. And not being 100% familiar, I went and looked at some of the other senators at that time to see, what their rhetoric was. And it's amazing to me that even at that point in time, there was still that bandit, misfit, silk stocking establishment Republicans or what have you, that was so ingrained in the whole leadership thing. They were really leading the charge against McCarthy.
Yes.
So, that Republican on Republican crime has been going back a long way as the junior senator from Wisconsin.
And it's like almost every aspect of the official American history, especially pop American history, is just wrong. It's always more complicated. And the beautiful thing, again, about the corporate press dying, it's not just the corporate press, it's the experts in general. So when you see Doris Kearns Goodwin rolled out, like presidential historian, yes, there are a bunch of people who still buy her book, but how many folks actually take her word now as gospel? No, you're probably going to go listen to some historian who's on Rogan or some other show.
Or get a primary journal and read your...
You can actually do the work yourself, but it is time for that.
Who wants to do that?
So I think their myth making is not going to work in the same way it did in the 70s, same way it did even in the 80s. I think you're actually going to puncture through, and this will be interesting to watch. Like, how much does this change in media and trusted institutions have a ripple effect through time, where because people start looking back in time and back at history and go, the stuff I was told to believe just ain't so.
Right.
Or it's true, but it's only one aspect of a multi-dimensional thing we need to examine.
Well, whenever you're aware enough to realize that that's their version of the truth.
Right. Exactly right.
Where I just want to drill a hole in my head is when people, the general public start citing it as gospel, like, oh, well, I got the singular point of evidence, here's this, here's this, here's this. Like, it's just exhausting at that point.
Now, we got to hit another break, but coming up, there's a guy who did an unofficial announcement that he's running for mayor of Mobile. And the headline at 1819 News is, "Kiss my ass." Whoa. Steve Nodine announces run for Mobile mayor following years of controversy. But that got my attention. Like, I'm not even trending today, and I'm not even mad about it. I'm like, no wonder everybody's clicking on that.
Try a headline like that, Joey?
Kiss my ass.
No, Don.
Come on.
He's been surrounded by controversy for quite a while now. This is going to be fun to watch.
Yeah, we'll get into that in just a second. First, this part of the program brought to you by Alabama Home Mortgage. And they're at Alabama Home Mortgage. Kim Williams and Madeline Cannon are ready to help you with getting ready to buy a home or refinance a home.
Right.
Now, you might be, I'm not going to refinance right before Christmas or buy a place right before Christmas. Well, you want to get prepared.
Yes.
So you can hit the ground running in the new year. Say you do want to purchase a home. You want to start really looking at this housing market. Eddie can tell you, in this market, you need to get pre-approved
Yes, you do.
immediately. That way, if you don't get pre-approved, you're wasting your time.
Yep.
You're wasting sellers' time. A lot of folks are not going to take you seriously unless they know that you're ready to actually buy and put in an offer that's good.
Yep.
And pre-approval is the way to do it. They're at Alabama Home Mortgage. And of course, if you're looking, if you've been on the bubble about refinancing, maybe you're waiting for Trump to come into office January the 20th. Well, at least get a game plan together. Let Kim and Madeline get to know you. Your goals in refinancing a home could be you want to get credit card debt off your back or any sort of debt. Maybe you want to reinvest in your family, yourself.
Good idea.
Your property. They can help you, whatever your goal is in refinancing. They're at Alabama Home Mortgage, and especially if you're a veteran, they have the latest on VA home loan programs, and they have amazing quick turnaround times, very low, some of the lowest in the area closing costs. They're just top of the line there at Alabama Home Mortgage. So call them up today, 567-4223. That's 567-4223. Or you can always apply online at myalabamahomemortgage.com. There is a difference in mortgage companies. Let Kim and Madeline prove that to you today. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
What would you do if your favorite local independent pharmacy had to close? This is not a question we can afford to ignore. And at Adams Drugs, we are fighting alongside other independent pharmacies to keep our doors open. We need your help now. Contact your local and state representatives and demand they support our fight to stay open. You can find their contact information on our website, adamsdrugs.net. Thank you for your support. We look forward to serving you and your family for many years to come.
Start your day a better way with Action 8 News Rising. Get your first look at news happening today, plus your latest forecast and live traffic reports. Don't settle for the same old morning newscast. Watch Action 8 News Rising, weekday morning starting at 4:30. Don't know an iPhone from a flip phone? You need to watch Action 8 News. Consumer technology reporter Jamie Tucker keeps you on top of the latest technology and keeps you safe from scams and identity thieves. Watch What the Tech, only on Action 8 News.
Are you tired of the mainstream media's biased reporting? Do you want to stay informed on the news that really matters to you? Look no further than 1819 News. At 1819 News, we bring you the latest in Alabama news, politics, sports, culture, and more. We've assembled a team of journalists with Alabama values dedicated to the truth and the truth alone. Visit us at 1819news.com today. That's 1819news.com. Subscribe to our newsletter. Honest News, Alabama Values. This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
This is your roving reporter, and today I am talking with an elk. Hey man, Mr. Elk, I was just wondering, what do elk do to take care of their money? Well, like most smart folks, we call David Ernest. You mean Alabama's most favorite asset preservationist? That's him, man. We call him up at 334-279-7431 or 205-479-0839. I see. Yes, he is our preferred money man. The money man with the money plan. You've been paying attention. Well, could you give us those numbers one more time? 334-279-7431 or 205-479-0839. And I just want to try to give you a heads up, man. Oh, what's that? I'm not an elk. Not an elk, huh? Well, then, pray tell, what are you? Knights of Columbus. I am not even going to make a comment. Well, the baby liked it.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network, brought to you by Montgomery Paint and Body. From little fender benders to total body repair, MPB will fix it good as new, maybe better. For 4 decades, the Turner family has been getting you back on the road. Call 279-7325.
We've got some big-ticket weather to deal with as a front approaches. Periods of rain and some thunderstorms today and tonight. Locally heavy rainfall amounts. Some of the storms strong, possibly severe, with damaging wind gusts the main threat. Breezy today, high in the low 70s. Turning colder late tonight as the rain comes to an end. Overnight low 43. Wednesday's a raw day. Windy and cold, high temperature 51. Down to 29 on Wednesday night. And a chilly day on Thursday with sunshine and a high around 53. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Web Bobo with Capital Tractor. Get 0% financing up to 48 months with approved credit. Now on select Kubota track loaders and excavators. Get a Kubota. Now through December 31st, 2024. See Capital Tractor Montgomery and Brundage or KubotaUSA.com for details.
The River Region's News Talk station. News Talk 93.1. WACV. News Talk 93.1.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. 272-9228 if you want to get in on the conversation. So the headline, again, at 1819news.com for all the great Alabama news. Just go to 1819news.com. Let me pull it up on the screen here. It says, "Kiss my ass. Steve Nodine announces run for Mobile mayor following years of controversy." Ooh. So what kind of controversy we talking about here?
I'm not going to correct the host too often, but I do believe he pronounces it Nodine.
Nodine? So not Nodine, Nodine.
Like nine, Nodine.
Steve Nodine, Steve Nodine, and he spells Steven with a PH.
Cool.
He's announced his candidacy for Mobile mayor, though it was unofficial. The controversial figure is the first to officially announce his running since Mayor Sandy Stimpson said he would not seek re-election. Nodine was previously sentenced to 2 years in prison for perjury and harassment and what he called political persecution after he planned to run for mayor in 2010.
I see.
He said prosecutors tried to tie him to the death of his then-girlfriend, Angel Downs, after she was found dead from a gunshot wound in the driveway of her Gulf Shores townhome.
I do remember this.
Nodine is running on the motto, Make Mobile Great Again, and has compared his legal struggles to those of the president-elect Donald Trump.
Man, I tell you, he hopes President Trump's coattails are long, long, long.
Yeah.
And people buy this.
In part, he said, I think many of you who are opposing and respect those who may oppose a potential comeback after the lawfare that started. My downfall, which much is to be attributed to my own actions and reckless actions. President Trump has gone through the same thing I am, many other young men and women in the justice circus. I hope, if anything else, I can contribute in my life as opposed to the haters whom have never done anything for their communities other than being haters. Kiss my ass. This is all put on the Book of Faces.
Hey, I got $20 because he don't win.
So here's my question. So, like, what's he going to say that other Republican candidates won't say? And I know it's a nonpartisan race, but trust me, it's a partisan race.
Right.
So, you know, he's going to be more Republican, more Trumpian than other folks. Like, how? No. How do you distinguish yourself?
Unless it's a unique local culture, you got to have a night. You got to know people. You got to be networked. People have to genuinely like you to win.
Oh, there's a challenge.
Right. Well, but here's an update. Erica Thomas wrote this up. He'll join us Thursday. She said, update. Nodine, who says he wants to run for Mobile mayor in 2025, says his social media announcement was unofficial, and he plans to make an official announcement at a later time. While he previously posted that he wants to contribute to his community and that his haters can kiss my ass, Nodine says he regrets the wording and doesn't want to be offensive to anyone.
Oh, come on now.
Come on,
You
this
can't
is
make
the
a
worst
bold statement like that and crawdad on it.
Worst of, like, it's better if you'd said nothing.
Somebody wrote that for him, and he got a little heat from some conservative folks, and, you know.
Well, he changed the wording on his Facebook post to bless your heart. He told 1819 News that in his younger years, he would have used that type of language, but now he's older and wiser, and he wants to take the high road. As for an official announcement, Nodine says he plans to make one in the coming weeks. I posted a yard sign that someone made me on Facebook. I have been in politics a long time, and I would have had a press release to come out if it was an official announcement. I don't think here in Montgomery we're going to be covering the Mobile mayor's race too much, but if characters like this keep jumping in, why not?
We may have to.
I will up my bet.
This is a first for me. Like, I've never seen a politician use in my younger days, in reference to yesterday. I mean,
It's a long night, man.
The huevos, man.
You know, that is literally the worst possible thing. You're like, screw you, buddy. I'm sorry about that. I mean, like, we just disagree, and you want to have lunch?
Sometimes it happens, especially between friends. Not
for the theater.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Got a feeling he ain't going to see the mayor's seat.
Yeah. 272-9228 if you want to get in on the conversation. That's 334-272-9228. What do y'all make of this whole, because we mentioned it yesterday, and it's been echoed by AL.com, that, like, Coleman's a sundown town and all this stuff?
I saw a video last night, TikTok video, that black deputy sheriff, he went to a Coleman festival this past weekend. Dude, he had the time of his life.
Right. Well, I think they're doing a Christmas market up there.
Maybe that was it. Yeah, that was it, because he got this snow cone thing. Anyway.
Hey, wait, where did you get that Christmas market idea? Where did you get the idea for the Christmas market? Same place as the Autobahn?
Perhaps.
Same place as the V2, I mean the rocket?
Listen, Klaus.
Yeah, this dude last night, he had a great time. I should have saved the video just to show you, but he had a great time walking around the fair. Even ate this thing, a fried cheese sandwich, which suddenly
Fried cheese sandwich? What's
okay.
that?
It's a square, like imagine.
Byron doesn't seem like he wants
Oh,
No, I'm
it
just
sounds
amazed that,
delicious.
like, if you don't think it can be fried, go to the fair.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. But it's like a block of cheese, mozzarella, my guess, breaded and pan-fried. And it's served,
Pan-fried?
Yeah, it's served between two pieces of bread. It looked delicious. And the stretch on it was like a mile.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I like me some cheese.
Yeah, he was having a great time, but that was his whole reason he was there. He was like, it's past sundown. Oh my God, what's going to happen? Oh, I'm going to go have another treat. And he's going to another food thing. So,
and as soon as the camera goes off, get him.
Well, for whatever
I think that was the case.
Hey, for whatever
it's
it's
not
worth,
true.
For whatever it's worth, and this is only anecdotal, when, cut my teeth in my younger days, I heard reference to that, 20 years ago.
Right.
So,
but 20 years ago.
yeah, I mean, I'm not saying it was yesterday. I mean,
Right. But these things die hard, like these sort of sentiments and urban legends. This really got kicked up. AL.com echoed it, and they then deleted a post. Those guys.
Mm-hmm.
I don't mention them often for a reason.
Bless their hearts.
Yeah. Or what No Dine said first.
Yeah, exactly.
But no, this got started on TikTok, right?
Yep.
There were a bunch of folks talking about
Trying to
that
start
sundown
something,
time. Yeah. Now there's places like I wouldn't want to be after sundown in the middle of nowhere. I'm not in the sense that I'm like
Dude,
truly worried.
There's places in Montgomery you don't need to be
Right.
past sundown.
Exactly.
I mean, it's just right. But
Yeah.
they act like there's signs all over the places. Don't you get caught around here after sundown? I've never seen one of those signs in my 55 years of life.
Right.
Like Byron, I've heard of that, but I've never witnessed it, never even come close to it.
Right.
Right.
And let's be honest. I mean, in most cases, people aren't as explicit with their messaging. There's more subtle ways to get points across.
Sure.
Yeah,
and I think that's largely true. 272-9228. By the way, Tuberville. There's a post on 1819news.com. Americans will no longer be scared to death of FBI under Trump and Kash Patel. Tuberville looks so happy these days, doesn't he?
Oh, I bet he is.
I think he's so excited to be in the actual majority in the Senate. And actually, let's listen to this clip. I think it's a Fox Business clip here with Coach.
Then try to downplay the assassination attempt that almost took Trump's life. Joining us now from Senate Armed Services, Alabama Senator Tommy Tuberville. Senator, it's great to see you again. What is your reaction when you hear that? I mean, the president is saying he wants the Justice Department, the FBI, to go after crime, hurting Americans, not political rivals.
Fake Bureau of Investigation, Liz. We're going to have a new one. Christopher Ferrer will be gone. Kash Patel will be in. Pam Bondi is good friends with Kash Patel. They will work very well together. The American people are scared to death of the FBI. They've been weaponized. They've been going after people, not just President Trump, but all of his, a lot of his people, friends, matter of fact, and pushing people to the limit. They have done things by going into homes at 6 in the morning, waking people up. It's absolutely amazing what they've done, and they're dead wrong about it. And Christopher Wray will be gone. He'll actually get out himself, but we'll have a new FBI director here soon.
You know, anecdotally, we spoke to millennial voters. Even millennial voters say they don't feel comfortable with the Justice Department just picking and choosing who they're going to go after politically. So you met with Linda McMahon, the incoming nominee for the Education Department. Your reaction to that?
Very, very good. She's well qualified.
Oh, yeah.
Matter of fact, as you well know, I've spent 35 years in the education business. Our education is in trouble like everything else. We're 27th in the world in education. She's big on homeschool. She's big on school choice. We need to do something, obviously, with Title IX, men and women's sports. We've got to get back to educating and teaching math, English, all the things that kids need to do. You know, almost half the kids in this country, Liz, almost half, can't read past the 6th grade reading level because we don't teach reading, and you have to teach it to learn it. So I'm very impressed with her. I think she'll do a great job.
Senator,
By the way, Linda McMahon, anybody goes, oh, WWE, she was the business brains. Like Vince was kind of the visionary, especially the creative visionary.
Right.
And had the cojones to sort of make some big moves early on. But Linda was the business person. So they turn a regional multi-million-dollar business to a $9 billion business in a few decades.
Well,
pretty good.
Let me ask you this. All right, so she was the business mind, right?
Yeah.
Why not tap her for commerce or something like that?
She was the head of the Small Business Administration last Trump
But
term.
to me, this screams more he's getting ready to do something major at education.
I agree.
And he's got to have someone that he's got a good relationship that he knows is going to follow through. I'm excited by this.
Yeah, and I'm excited to watch Tuberville in particular I'm excited to watch all of our delegation, but Tuberville in particular with the Senate majority. I think he's going to enjoy himself greatly.
The only coaching I'd have for Coach would be don't reference like the 6 a.m. as, the inconvenience. Like if someone is getting their door kicked in, it shouldn't matter what time of day it is.
Okay, I see what you mean. But you just saw what?
Wish they'd wait at least till I got up.
You don't want to be raided with your. Do you wear underwear?
Not really, because that's
how you sleep naked
most of the time. But
With
that's
the
how they're going to
American
take you
flag.
downtown.
You have animals in the bed with you.
They put out heat. That's why I got to sleep naked.
Oh,
it's hot.
I see. I see what's going on.
He's also got a jar of peanut butter right beside the bed.
You get hungry in the middle of the night.
Yeah, I mean, peanut butter is good for you too, especially natural. All those oils, essential oils in there.
High in protein.
Good for the skin. Just smear it all over your face. It's good for the skin.
I'm glad you said face.
Yeah, good for the face. Anyway, let's hit a break. We'll be right back.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Honey?
Yeah?
Do you think it's safe using all these extension cords?
Oh, yeah, it's fine.
Actually, too many extension cords can be dangerous. Call Crosby Electric to add new outlets.
Sure is dark in our yard.
Good. We'll sleep better.
Maybe you will.
Crosby Electric does landscaping lighting for beauty and safety, as well as security lighting for peace of mind.
Oh, darn. The vacuum cleaner just tripped a breaker.
Honey, never vacuum while I'm making popcorn.
Tripping breakers can indicate a potential fire hazard. You really should have it checked out by Crosby Electric, serving the river region for almost 50 years.
Sweetheart, are you ever afraid that lightning could damage our electrical system?
Afraid? Come on. No. Maybe we should call Crosby. Just give him a call.
Full house surge protection can protect you and your possessions. For an assessment and for all your electrical needs, call Crosby Electric 272-2085 or visit us at crosbyelectric.com.
This is your roving reporter, and today I am talking with an elk. Hey man, Mr. Elk, I was just wondering, what do elk do to take care of their money? Well, like most smart folks, we call David Erdit. You mean Alabama's most favorite asset preservationist? That's him, man. We call him up at 334-279-7431 or 205-479-0839. I see. Yes, he is our preferred money man. The money man with the money plan. You've been paying attention. Well, could you give us those numbers one more time? 334-279-7431 or 205-479-0839. And I just want to try to give you a heads up, man. Oh, what's that? I'm not an elk. Not an elk, huh? Well, then, pray tell, what are you? Knights of Columbus. I am not even going to make a comment. Well, the baby liked it.
Now you can add the power of digital advertising to the #1 reach of radio. Let Blue Water's 20 years of local advertising and marketing success show you how. Grow your business with a complete suite of digital solutions, combined with the reach of the most listened to radio group in the river region. Call us or go to BlueWaterBroadcasting.com to find out how we can increase your return on investment. Blue Water Broadcasting, local folks helping local business.
For more information, send an email to digital@BlueWaterBroadcasting.com.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network, brought to you by Montgomery Paint and Body. From little fender benders to total body repair, MPB will fix it good as new, maybe better. For 4 decades, the Turner family has been getting you back on the road. Call 279-7325.
We've got some big ticket weather to deal with as a front approaches. Periods of rain and some thunderstorms today and tonight. Locally heavy rainfall amounts. Some of the storms strong, possibly severe, with damaging wind gusts the main threat. Breezy today, high in the low 70s. Turning colder late tonight as the rain comes to an end. Overnight low 43. Wednesday's a raw day. Windy and cold, high temperature 51. Down to 29 on Wednesday night. And a chilly day on Thursday with sunshine and a high around 53. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Web Bobo with Capital Tractor. Get 0% financing up to 48 months with approved credit. Now on select Kubota track loaders and excavators. Get a Kubota now through December 31st, 2024. See Capital Tractor Montgomery and Brundage or KubotaUSA.com for details.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
Live local talk. The River Region's only 24-hour News Talk FM station. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. So coming up in the next hour, we could get to, leads into what Tuberville's talking about. Christopher Wray's probably going to resign. The FBI director doesn't want to be fired by Trump. He's going to get out of town on his own early. Again, we have yet to get to Trump trolling Justin Trudeau.
Why does Christopher Wray think he's going to be fired? Because that he raided Trump's house? Could that have anything to do with it? Just curious.
Yeah, it is amazing. It really is amazing. They threw everything at him.
Yeah.
Then, of course, you did see the trolling of Trudeau, right?
Mm-hmm.
It continues.
I have not.
Oh, we're going to save it. I'm not even going to say what Trump did. And, Trudeau has now responded, well, hey, maybe we get rid of, we put tariffs on Heinz and bourbon and Harley Davidson. It's like everything that's cool.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead, you weirdos. I saw a clip of Jordan Peterson talking with his daughter saying the per capita wealth in Canada continues to fall.
No doubt,
they are
man.
poorer than the poorest state in the United States.
Really?
Yeah.
Buy real estate up there.
It's nuts.
Yeah.
Absolutely nuts.
That's wild.
And we'll also have to get to, there's not a lot of detail on this. Eddie, you just saw it, and I'm looking at it now. ABC News says Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell fell during the Senate Republican lunch on Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
It's unclear if McConnell, who's 82, sustained any injuries or what the severity of the fall was. 2 medical responders were seen briefly entering his office and have since departed. John Thune was asked about it. He said he's fine. He's in his office.
This happens all the time.
Daggum, man. No, and it is just tragic. Part of it is like frustrating. Like, why didn't you get out of there? Like especially when you saw Feinstein.
Yes.
But then you also see folks at that point in life, and you're just like, man, we're not your family. You're supposed to be serving the nation, and
you're not.
And you're not.
Yeah, but
you're not.
Sometimes it's not even on them. Sometimes it's on their other
Their
family
handlers.
members and handlers. I mean, let's go back to Jill.
Right. Yeah, good point.
Yeah,
I mean,
point.
to me, that's one of the true evils is like propping these people up, just as a
For no other
puppet.
reason, just to suck off the power.
Just profit, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't want to change the family business.
No.
That's the Bidens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, let's hit this top of the hour break. A lot to get to, especially the Trump trolling Trudeau.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm John Scott. The 26-year-old man charged in last week's killing of United Healthcare's CEO in New York City is making a court appearance in Pennsylvania. His extradition hearing is underway. Luigi Mangione was arrested Monday. That's after a worker at a McDonald's in Altoona, Pennsylvania, notified police that he resembled the suspect in the killing last Wednesday of Brian Thompson. Governors and lawmakers in Republican-led states are rolling out plans that could aid President-elect Donald Trump's effort to deport millions of people living in the U.S. illegally. A growing number of states are proposing legislation to give local law officers the power to arrest people that are in the country illegally. The Dow dropping 22 points. The NASDAQ composite is ahead 4 points. This is SRN News.
Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at endurancewarranty.com.
If you're driving a car or truck with an expired warranty and suddenly lost your transmission or needed a full engine repair, would a $4,000 repair bill leave you stranded? I'm Danica Patrick. Don't get caught off guard with a vehicle breakdown. Choose the company I trust. Endurance. No matter the mileage, if your vehicle is less than 20 years old, Endurance offers auto protection plans for any budget. Protection on the drivetrain, electrical, transmission, AC, and more. Plus 24/7 roadside assistance and rental car reimbursement on any plan. Endurance handles everything from making the claim to paying the certified mechanic of your choice. Act now and get 1 full year of elite benefits. A $2,000 value, free.
Call for your fast free quote today. Call 800-298-9534. That's 800-298-9534. 800-298-9534.
Rich Thomas weather, a service of Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, where over-the-road dump truck drivers are needed right now. Home twice a week and every weekend. Must leave early on Sunday with Blue Cross Blue Shield. Call them now at 855-777-9785.
We've got some big-ticket weather to deal with as a front approaches. Periods of rain and some thunderstorms today and tonight. Locally heavy rainfall amounts. Some of the storms strong, possibly severe, with damaging wind gusts the main threat. Breezy today, high in the low 70s. Turning colder late tonight as the rain comes to an end. Overnight low 43. Wednesday's a raw day. Windy and cold, high temperature 51. Down to 29 on Wednesday night. And a chilly day on Thursday with sunshine and a high around 53. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Thank you for voting ASC Credit Union, the best credit union in the River Region 6 years in a row. As we celebrate our 70th anniversary, we are proud to be at the top of the list for the best credit union in the hearts of the communities we serve.
1819 News.
U.S. Senator Tommy Tuberville says that Americans are scared to death of the FBI under its current leadership. Tuberville was on Fox Business News saying that President-elect Donald Trump has put forth a nominee that's going to change all of that. Trump has nominated Kash Patel to be the next director of the FBI.
We're going to have a new one. Christopher Ferrer will be gone. Kash Patel will be in. Pam Bondi is good friends with Kash Patel. They will work very well together. The American people are scared to death of the FBI. They've been weaponized. They've been going after people, not just President Trump, but all of his, a lot of his people, friends, matter of fact, and pushing people to the limit. They have done things by going into homes at 6 in the morning, waking people up. It's absolutely amazing what they've done, and they're dead wrong about it. And Christopher Wray will be gone. He'll actually get out himself.
I'll be back with more Alabama stories after this.
Where I was living was not a great place to live anymore. I began to pray for a place to go, praying for all of these things that a 9-year-old would want. I wanted horses, big house with a bunch of people my age. I wanted parents. I wanted a mom and a dad. Before I even prayed it, the Lord had already answered my prayer with the Big Oak Ranch. Who would that 9-year-old be if she never came to the Big Oak Ranch? I would be trying to fight for survival instead of fighting to break the cycle.
Big Oak Ranch, a Christian home for children needing a chance.
A lawsuit was filed in Limestone County that is opposed to the development of a quarry in Belmina by 2 different companies. The lawsuit was filed by New Beginnings Covenant Ministries and the Belmina Methodist Church. The lawsuit contends that the quality of life in that community will be affected by the rock crushing center. There are 3 churches as well as residential properties that are located within 25 feet and up to half a mile from that quarry. I'm Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
Our daughter Jessie loves playing detective.
A clue.
But since we discovered she has sensitive skin, we've been playing detective too.
We thought the problem was our puppy.
But it was actually our old detergent.
Aha!
So we switched to Tide Free and Gentle. Tide cleans better than the leading competitive free detergent, and it doesn't leave behind irritating residues.
Plus, Tide Free and Gentle has no dyes or perfumes, so it's gentle on her skin.
Case closed.
If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Free and Gentle.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is #1 in the #2 business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
Celebrate the holidays with A Christmas Carol at Alabama Shakespeare Festival. Scrooge, Tiny Tim, and all your favorite characters return to the festival stage for this heartwarming lesson in forgiveness, generosity, and redemption. It's a joyful Christmas tradition for the entire family. On stage now through December 29th. Tickets at asf.net.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. The news and views in the afternoon. 272-9228 if you want to get in on the conversation. That's 334-272-9228. And so both Eddie Bader and Byron Sheehy here in the studio with me. Byron, you have not seen this yet, but Donald John Trump, let me throw it out on the screen, put this out, I believe last night, saying, "It was a pleasure to have dinner the other night with Governor Justin Trudeau of the great state of Canada. I look forward to seeing the governor again soon as we may continue our in-depth talks on tariffs and trade, the results of which would be truly spectacular for all. DJT." Beautiful.
Love it.
And so now Trudeau's deputy is responding to this epic trolling.
We're a country.
Yeah, President-elect Donald Trump lobbed some late-night digs at Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, writes Politico, referring to Canada as a great state. Trudeau
If they do become a state, can we call them Canada?
Yeah, I think we can.
Just to remind them we're the boss.
We don't want them. I mean, like we already determined, they're not bringing anything to the
There's
table.
some good oil sands up there. They just need the right managerial staff to get up there and get it.
But these comments come as Trump plans to impose a 25% tariff on Canada and Mexico, which Trudeau said would be devastating for the Canadian economy and at which he's still looking at the right ways to respond to. The Canadian Prime Minister has also emphasized the impact such tariffs would have on the U.S., saying Trump would be raising prices for American citizens as well and hurting American industry and businesses.
I just buy a little less syrup.
Asked on Tuesday if Trump is trolling Canada.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. This is Politico. This is not some just random blog. Asked on Tuesday if Trump is trolling Canada, Deputy Prime Minister Freeland said, Chrystia Freeland said the Canadian government is, quote, absolutely determined to defend the national interest.
Well, good for them.
Our principle during the NAFTA negotiations was that we did not escalate and we also did not back down. I think that is a very Canadian approach, eh? And it's an approach that works. God.
They didn't back down from a negotiation. That's how they took the metal.
That's weak.
Yeah. They're on the weak end of the stick, man.
Following the dinner between Trump and Trudeau, where Trump reportedly made a joke about Canadian statehood, public safety. Yeah, he's like, if you can't handle the tariffs, why don't become the 51st state?
Why not? Jump in line.
You know what he should do to really troll Canada? Make Trey Parker and Matt Stone joint ambassadors to Canada.
Oh, my God.
Blame Canada. Blame Canada. Oh, such a good song.
Okay, buddy.
That's your buddy, guy.
See, we got all kinds of good ideas over here.
But it sounds like a lot of the Canadians get it. Public Safety Minister Dominique LeBlanc told reporters that they knew the conversation was going to be lighthearted and that the president was teasing us. It wasn't a meeting in a boardroom with 10 bureaucrats keeping notes. LeBlanc said it was a social evening, and there were moments where it was entertaining and funny, and there were moments where we were able to do, we think, some good work for Canada. Trump and Trudeau, and the two have had a fraught relationship. Trump had previously called Trudeau two-faced and far-left lunatic.
Yes.
And he slapped tariffs on Canadian steel and aluminum, during his first term. Trudeau's office declined to comment Tuesday morning on the president-elect's overnight insults. Really? No, the best way to take this is Trump messing with you.
Yep. And you better roll with that.
Please tell me it was like a non-vegan menu.
Oh, at Mar-a-Lago? Probably.
That would
Steak,
probably been
all the way
the
around.
ultimate troll.
Yeah. Wait, is Trudeau vegan?
I know at one point there was
I can see that.
an effort, like I think Pamela Anderson or someone like super celeb was like helping him transition to becoming a vegan.
Yeah, man. I could do vegetarian because you can eat cheese, right?
Until somebody whips out a steak.
Yeah,
And
I
you're like,
still,
"I'm out."
I don't understand the whole eggs thing. Like unfertilized eggs. Why can't you eat an unfertilized egg? It's not like you're killing an animal or anything.
That's a philosophical question.
That's just like, okay, if the logic is you're hurting, you're causing pain and suffering, you're killing another being.
I thought the logic is I'm hungry and there's something over there I can eat.
Right.
There's the logic.
Well, that's your logic.
Yes.
Maybe
Working
too
out
much.
pretty good.
No, maybe too much. Yeah, you need to break out of that logical cage you built for yourself.
I don't know.
But you know how much I eat meat. I eat a lot of
I
meat.
feel pretty good about it. And it's good for them. People want to be vegan. I don't care, but
more meat for the rest.
Right.
Of us.
I mean,
What do you think's more ethical? Meat? Let's assume eating meat is ethical, but is meat that you went on a hunt, you hunted and killed the animal yourself, and you're now feasting on its flesh, and or like you go to the grocery store and get a steak.
Either or to me.
It doesn't matter.
When I was younger, yeah, it was. I guess I took a sense of pride of eating what I killed, but yeah, I'm old enough.
One's not better than the other.
No, I just gotta eat.
I think the ethical thing would be to kill a 120-pound deer and
Leave
not
it.
do anything.
Yeah,
with
that's
it.
wrong.
Yeah.
I agree. And also I know they claim it helps stop poaching and all this stuff, but the trophy hunting, the true trophy hunting, especially with like lions and these sorts of things, there's part of me that goes, no, I don't like that.
You're not for pens and cages.
Yeah, I don't like that. I mean, maybe if you're actually in a non-controlled environment and you go and stalk a lion pride and you actually pull it off, okay, maybe. But that's not what's going on with these big game.
Or maybe like a serious prey, like a human being or something.
You remember that movie with Ice Cube? No,
I
Ice
did,
T.
but he goes to the other record. So
Yeah, hunting quail, wedding crashers.
Oh.
maybe like a lion or a human being.
Oh, I love that movie. I haven't seen that in a while. Thank you for the reminder. I have to go watch it. Hey, Grandpa. You ever seen Wedding Crashers?
Pioneers.
It has been very fun introducing my 88-year-old grandfather to Kill Tony.
I just thought of you guys doing the whole Wedding Crashers thing, you and Grandpa. That would be pretty cool.
I bet Grandpa would be a great
That would be
wingman.
pretty cool, Joey.
Well, and then at funerals. It's a grief's
So
an
you could go like-
aphrodisiac, right?
Yeah.
Mom! Meatloaf! Anyway, you can see our generation really is screwed up.
Mm-hmm.
But you go look at other stuff and you're like, yeah, it's been
But
screwed
it's
up a
their
while.
fault.
Right. It's their fault.
Yeah.
Not your
We're
fault.
We're just trying to make it.
Just trying to make it?
Just trying to make it, man. Trying to give you guys better than what we had. And I think we did a pretty good job.
Well,
of that.
half of y'all screwed it up.
Well, that's women. Yeah, it's women for you. They're going to screw it up.
Oh, and speaking of screw-ups, it looks like the headline from Caleb Taylor at 1819news.com, new Alabama State House construction falls 6 months behind schedule. What? How can this be?
Is it doubled in cost yet? Or is that next week?
Let's read the story here. Construction on the new Alabama State House is 4 to 6 months behind schedule. They don't even know how far behind schedule they are.
Somebody does.
We got to come up with a new term for things that you should know, but not be news. Like, this isn't news, but we need to know this.
But who actually is David Bronner is the source. Members of the Legislative Council approved contracting with the RSA in September 2023 to design and build a new state house. The project cost would be reimbursed to the RSA from the state with an 8% administrative fee added on.
Woo!
Damn. That's pretty good.
Is an
Real
administrative
good.
fee like
Everything you buy, I get 8% on top of.
wow?
Pretty high. Like, interest rates aren't that
No,
high,
no.
especially if you're doing big dollar
I've done a lot of companies that do 10, cost plus 10. So.
Oh, there are?
Yeah.
Okay.
So they gave
Well,
them
8 is...
Oh,
We're getting a deal,
please.
dude. We're getting a deal.
Right, please.
Yeah, we're getting a deal. Well, the state could either buy the property from the RSA after its completion or enter into a 25-year lease agreement that would eventually also make the state the property owner. What?
Wait. So I'm going to lease it from you, but
So,
I also
no, wait.
own
I'm
it?
going to build it and give you 8% administrative fee.
Okay.
And then you're either going to lease it to me for 25 years or I'm just going to buy it as soon as it's built. I'm wondering what the advantages are of one over the other.
Well, leasing, I'm guessing the leasing part would be they wouldn't be in charge of the maintenance of it. But let's be honest, it's a new building. There shouldn't be there shouldn't be a whole lot of maintenance on the front end. The maintenance comes on the backside.
The new State House will be located behind the old one. Where's that? What's behind?
Is that big parking lot between the Gordon Persons building, I believe?
Okay.
The missing person building?
Okay.
Yeah.
No, and honestly, like, government spending money, like, if you've been down there to the legislature, it's an awful old building. It really is moldy
Let's be
and old
honest.
and nasty.
Do they get what they deserve? Are they doing good things for us in the state of Alabama? Then keep them in that crap hole.
No.
Until they do better, they deserve no better.
But the old State House will eventually be demolished and replaced with
a new State House?
A green space area.
Ooh, maybe we get a skateboard park down there.
Oh, do we have ice skating at the
I read it somewhere.
The complex?
Yes, I did. I think that's where I read it. They're doing some ice skating. Ooh.
But here's the full quote from Bronner. He gave an update on the project on Tuesday at the Alabama Employees Retirement System meeting here in DeGump. It's going to fall about 6 months behind, said Bronner, maybe 5 months. We're trying to hold it to 4. It comes...
You're negotiating the wrong way.
Let me read that first sentence again. It's going to fall about 6 months behind, maybe 5 months. We're trying to hold it to 4. Bronner said at the meeting, it comes from a problem that I created because I wanted in the package doing a big project like that. You have one company that you can go beat up on to make sure things are right. We just couldn't find the people to bid. We had to take the packages and break it down into 3 different ones, like painting has to be separate than, for example, concrete work. And you think, well, that's different companies. Well, the big contractors handle it all. That's the way they like to do it because they don't want to be able to blame him or blame her that this isn't right. You're in charge, so you have to do it. What it also does is require me to go out and rebid again. We'll get those results in the next week or 2 and get back on it. He continued, the cement work, we've made great progress on the budget side. It's way below where we thought it would be. It's coming along fine as far as that goes. I was hoping to have all the cement work done by the end of this coming year, so it will run off into 26 for a little bit for probably 4 to 6 months.
Who's the member of our legislature that's from the construction industry?
Clyde Chambliss.
Okay. Is he on the committee?
I suspect he is. I don't know for a fact, but Clyde would probably be a
I knew he had to have
guy to have, and I'm sure there are others too. Yeah. Clyde comes to mind. But the original expected cost, $325 million.
Where are we at now?
I don't know. More about 4 to 5 to 6 months behind.
But we're trying to keep it down to like 3.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Let's go to line 1. You're on there. Who's this?
Afternoon, gentlemen.
Hey, David.
Hey, Dave. What's up, bud?
You know, when you said that they were going to tear down the old State House, and you paused and said, and I was thinking they're going to build a whorehouse there. That way it'll be out in the open, and everybody will know.
There's some whores in this house. There's some whores in this house.
The best little whorehouse in Montgomery.
Yeah. Well, isn't that what green space means?
Well,
at least after hours and the wee hours of the night, go to the park.
And I'm sure Bronner would be glad to build it and charge 8% administrative fee.
Someone said it's good work if you can get
You
it.
ain't kidding, dude.
Yeah, exactly. So, anyway, have a good one, guys.
Thank you, David.
No, and I do love this, that the state lawmakers themselves know if we have to do this, it's going to take for freaking ever, so let Bronner do it.
Yeah, he's not elected or nothing. He doesn't have to take
Right.
I mean,
It's just, it's still, it's like, this is what a state
Pass
we
the
have.
buck.
272-9228. This part of the program brought to you by Montgomery Men's Health. And there at Montgomery Men's Health, though, we'll be ready to help you fellows out. Now, it could be you're getting a little older, getting into that 50.
Yeah, your knees pop when you sit on the toilet, Joey. It happens.
Right, 50, 60.
50s, 40s, yeah.
40s even.
Yeah.
30s. I get my knees popped sometimes.
Yeah.
Not all the time.
No, don't sit on there so long.
Well, that creates other problems. Anyway, if you are getting a little older and you're noticing, like, I don't have the energy I did when I was a young man.
Right.
Like, I used to have this edge. I used to have this get up and go, this, like, motivation and drive.
Yep.
I used to be always kind of in the mood. Like, you dirty dog. Like, big libido, all this stuff. If you're losing all that, though, you're kind of haunted by past memories of your younger self. Well, it could be this happens naturally. You're producing less testosterone.
Exactly
you have
right.
low T, as they say. And, hey, it's not just guys who are getting older where it happens naturally. There are guys in their 20s and 30s. They're also experiencing the symptoms of low testosterone. So if you're feeling down and out, like you're walking through your life in a fog, why not go by Montgomery Men's Health, and the providers there will conduct a testosterone-focused lab workup plus a consultation for only $99. And Montgomery Men's Health has low T treatments that can truly change men's lives. Men after treatment can experience higher energy, better gains in the gym. Brother. That's right, brother. Better mental clarity, improved sleep patterns, a faster metabolism. You usually even notice an increased libido. And you can actually book the same day you call. That number, 440-3663. That's 440-3663. Or go to MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com to book your appointment today. We'll be right back.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Hi there, I'm Kim Williams with Alabama Home Mortgage. For years, I've been asking you to call me at Alabama Home Mortgage because there is a difference in mortgage companies. When you call Alabama Home Mortgage, from the moment we pick up the phone, you will hear the difference. We are passionate about what we do. To us, you're not just another applicant. When you call on us, you are trusting that we have your best interest at heart, and we do. We treat our customers like family, and that's why our customers turn into family, coming back to us time and time again. We know you have many options when it comes to mortgage financing, and we appreciate the opportunity to earn your business. We are excited to hear from you. Give Alabama Home Mortgage a call at 567-4223. That's 567-4223. Or visit us online at myalabamahomemortgage.com to complete an application on your time. Our passion is just one difference that sets us apart from the rest. It's not just a slogan. Call Alabama Home Mortgage because, folks, there is a difference in mortgage companies. NMLS 1586 368, Equal Housing Lender.
What's your biggest investment? More than likely, it's your home. So treat it that way when you hire a painting contractor. With PBS Painting, there are no gimmicks, no $99 special. Just quality painting and someone who treats your home with the same respect that you do. At PBS Painting, we have been painting for years and look forward to many more years to come. With PBS Painting, the job gets prepped properly, whether it's cleaning, scraping, or priming. We always use quality products, which is a must for a quality paint job. So if you're looking for a painter that doesn't need upfront money and is on the job at all times, then please give me a call. Scott Bowers and PBS Painting, 294-5122. That's PBS Painting, 294-5122. Look at some of our work on Facebook at PBS Painting Montgomery.
Help solve unsolved crimes by watching Action 8 News. Look for our exclusive I-Team reports as we work with Central Alabama Crime Stoppers to solve murder mysteries and put criminals behind bars. Victims' families are counting on you to watch Action 8 News. Ever miss an Action 8 newscast? Catching up is easy with the free Z app. Watch the news live on your phone or see newscasts from the past 3 days. Download Z. Search for Zeem in your app store today and stay on top of what's happening from Action 8 News.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com. This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
On FM, on your smartphone, and online, the River Region's most trusted voice, News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. It's news and views in the afternoon. Oh, look. Gene's on the phone. Hey,
Sure is,
Gene.
Joey.
How you doing?
Hey, Gene. Hey, Joey.
Hey.
I'm enjoying this weather. If it'll just turn cold and stop this raining business.
Yeah, I like the cooler weather. It's easier to sleep at night. You're right. They were dumping buckets on us from the sky earlier.
I'm telling you. How's Miss Lucy doing?
She's doing wonderful, and I don't know if you heard the news. You know, her mother, Caroline, is going through the steps of becoming a full-on doctor. And the next place she's going to land for 3 years is at Vanderbilt in Nashville. So they're moving to Nashville here pretty soon. And
Good deal.
I like that because they're about the same distance to Greenville, to Nashville. So.
Okay. Okay, I just wanted to know about her.
Well, thanks, Gene.
Thank you, Gene.
Love you.
All right, love y'all. Bye.
Yeah, that's cool. I was worried it was going to be like some far-flung place.
Oh, Nashville's great, too.
Like, you know, in the Northeast or something, or out west. But yeah, Nashville would be cool. I've never been to Nashville.
Great town to visit.
And also, it shows like
parties.
my brother really married up. Like she gets into Vandy.
Yeah.
Like
I was going to say that's humble Brad there.
Why don't you talk to him and say, hey, what you do? Give me some tips here. Help your brother. Have your brother help his brother out. Because I'm still worried.
No, Will actually, joined a frat and networked and got to know people.
The networking part.
And I think the story goes that his now wife was girlfriend to one of his buddies in the frat, and they had a cordial breakup. And Will had always had an eye on Caroline.
Okay.
And in fact, before they were even an item, Caroline, it was right at, not to get too maudlin, but it was right after my mother died. I was real sad one night visiting Will, and we were at Alley Bar. And Caroline danced with me, and it wasn't even like I was hitting on her or anything like that. It was just her being sweet to somebody who was sad.
Good soul.
Yeah.
And my brother even asked his buddy, who she had just broken up with, is all right if I kind of pursue this? He goes, yeah, man. And, well, they're now married. And it's pretty good. I did not join a frat. I did not network. I mostly stayed indoors.
Man, a lot of women can be found indoors.
Yeah?
I mean, not
in your own apartment.
No, I mean, you generally got to go out.
You need
one
to go
door.
to church. You need to go to the gym.
Good women at church, Joey.
Yeah.
No, a lot of sinners at church, Eddie.
Well, yeah.
That's coming to America, Joey.
You got to go to church. You want to get a good woman?
You want to get a good woman? Got to go to church.
272-9228. This part of the program brought to you by Bo Goodson and the Goodson Group. And they're at the Goodson Group. Bo and his team are ready to help you buy or sell a home here in the Montgomery and surrounding areas. Bo's been working in the River Region real estate market, I think half a century now, 5 decades. So he's seen it all, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And, well, he can help you whether you're looking to buy or sell, or if you're looking to convert that property of yours to a rental investment, which is a great idea in this market. The housing market's got its ups and downs, but with all the turnover always at the Air Force Base and these sorts of things, rental properties are very valuable around here, but managing them can be a pain in the butt. Really can be. So why not, for a reasonable fee, have the Goodson Group manage that rental for you? And then the crown jewel there is the Bo Goodson Real Estate School, one of the most highly acclaimed in the state of Alabama, because it's very interactive. You're learning directly from Bo's 50-plus years of experience. And it's also the proof of how many folks have graduated from this class, from Bo Goodson's Real Estate School, and gone on to great success as a fully licensed agent or a more knowledgeable private player. So check out the Goodson Group today. You can always go to thegoodsongroup.com. Give them a call at 551-0225. That's 551-0225. Bo Goodson and the Goodson Group. Great sponsor here of the program. I'm just checking, seeing if there's any big breaking news that might have dropped while we were going back and forth. Let's check this one site.
Hey, Joey, how do you pronounce Roger Ver, V-E-R?
Yeah.
Okay.
Roger Ver?
Okay.
Bitcoin guy?
Yeah.
Right?
Facing life in prison.
Really?
For revealing how the U.S. government secretly subverted crypto.
Really?
Click on Tucker Carlson on X.
Tucker on X. Okay. Let me go to that. Oh, by the way, there's also Google AI announced this new quantum chip. Now, you read into it, they're like, it's still a prototype, still experimental, but it could potentially make quantum computing a real scalable thing, which everybody's like, well, that's a Bitcoin killer. I'm like, no, it's not just, it's an encryption killer. And so whether it's Bitcoin or your normal bank account or your secrets in the U.S. government or your proprietary secrets in a major corporation, anything encrypted, whether it's Iron Mountain, where all Prince's old vault records are, like, you need to wrap it in new quantum encryption, and there are actually people already doing that. You can do that to Bitcoin. There's a lot of money. The miners would very much want to wrap Bitcoin and quantum encryption. But that said, I'm still, even with this announcement, I'm not sold that
Can I just wrap my
they've
phone
actually
in
pulled something
tinfoil?
off. Wrap your phone in tinfoil?
That doesn't work.
Roger Ver is facing life in prison for revealing how the U.S. government works secretly to subvert cryptocurrency and prevent economic freedom. More people should hear the story. Okay. Interesting.
Little homework assignment.
Yeah, I'll definitely watch that episode of Tucker. Tucker's doing all right. He's one of the major success stories in the new media.
Oh, yes.
Let's go to Charles the First. Hey, Charles.
Hey guys, how y'all doing?
Pretty good. How you doing, bud?
I'm doing pretty good. I was going to tell you something that you may not be aware of about the RSA and David Bonner and what else they're building.
Mm-hmm.
Are you familiar with what I'm about to tell you?
I don't know. You just go ahead.
Okay, it's the ABC, Alcohol Beverage Control, remember my dad was with, warehouse. Now, there's a whole little story going on, and they also get that 8% for constructing that, okay? But my dad used to tell me about it, guys, and this is what it is. The Prohibition ended, and that's why we got the ABC, okay?
Right.
And we may be at the bottom at a lot of stuff, y'all, but the ABC in Alabama keeps minors from getting alcohol and cigarettes at one of the top-notch best numbers in the United States of America. Are you familiar with that?
I remember.
Not really, but
well, some reason he got
Oh, we
knocked
lost him.
off. Call back, Charles.
Yeah.
Dadgum. No, I've never. I've questioned like the economics of the ABC. I've not questioned their enforcement arm. I remember being underage, and they kind of put the fear in God in some clerks and some stores.
Yeah,
but, I mean, you also were still able to get it.
Should a liquor store employee be a state employee getting state benefits?
Right.
Are we getting the best deal as consumers? The answer is no.
No.
Very
Right.
simple.
Nor do we get the best selection.
No, correct.
Right.
Do we get best prices? No.
Right.
So I know a lot of people look at it, and I think they look at it from a point of, teetotalers. They don't even want it out there, period. So to control it is the best they can get. I'm against it 1,000%.
And how are we doing with the
State
whole marijuana?
Teetotaling thing?
Well, I was going to say the marijuana thing.
That's working out great. If you don't want marijuana in the state, it's working out perfect, just like it was planned.
Straight as the letter S.
What's the old H.L. Mencken line that Puritanism is the fear that somewhere, somehow, someone is having too much fun?
Or to update it, might be profiteering in lieu of.
When Mencken went on, he said the Puritan's the person who's like wishes everybody could, sit quietly and drink a little bit of peach schnapps and like, but they just, everybody when they starts drinking that whiskey and gets it rowdy. We can't have that around here. So nobody gets to anything.
Yeah.
You saw what it did to the Indians, man.
That's the mindset. It drives me insane.
Well, Charles, call back. Hey, maybe this is, you're on the air. Who's this?
This is Charles the First.
Hey, Charles, we lost you, buddy.
I know. How far did I get, guys?
You got to the enforcement aspect, ABC.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The enforcement, was I telling you about how it came to be formed? Is that where I was?
Yeah, you said how it came to be formed out of prohibition, and then you're talking about how we have some of the best numbers of stopping people underage.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay. So here's why you would. State law made it where you leased out your warehouses. Have you got me?
Yep.
Instead of purchasing them.
Right.
And that law would have to be changed. And my thoughts about that is that it would have to be changed by a vote of the people and not something necessary that the legislature could do, just like in attempting to do anything to the ABC. Now, the reasons that you would want it to be bought and own it instead of lease it is the leasees, when the legislature would try to do something to end the ABC, the leasees would want to keep leasing and have that money.
That's true.
And they would provide money in a lobbyist kind of attorneys and everything way to keep the ABC as it is.
Right.
Now, and like I said, Bonner, it got finagled around however they did it for them to be able to do this. Now, you have to ask yourself, we are really, really good at this. I mean, you get what I'm saying? Like, we do have a nice price for our alcohol beverages. We also do have youth that the ABC, you get fired, your place gets fined, you learn the rules of what you do, that you don't sell to underage people or do the things you shouldn't be doing.
Correct.
Why you would want to stop that would be because of cronyism and nepotism and secondary ownerships of things by our legislators that want to get their little proprieties on the alcohol. Have you got me?
Mm-hmm.
Now, none of this should be allowed to happen, and some things that have already happened did not follow the necessary requirement that you have to have the people of the state of Alabama to vote to do things that end or change significantly the ABC board and the ABC, y'all. But since you were talking about Bronner, I wanted to bring up that's who's building the warehouse. You get the warehouses in there, you don't have the leasees anymore to give you any problems when you want to do something that can be harmful.
Interesting. Not a wrinkle I thought about. As always, Charles. I appreciate it, man.
Thank you, Charles.
Hey, thanks a lot, y'all. Have a great day.
You too.
Is it in the Constitution?
I don't know on that. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
It would, it would
No,
not
if it's in the
surprise.
Constitution,
I don't
take
think
some amendment.
I don't think it'd be a hard lift either way, to be honest with you.
Now, I'm almost hesitant to play this next clip because it's this Luigi Mangione guy. It's as they're dropping off for arraignment. And he's, of course, been charged with murder. Second degree, as the judge said. Judge Napolitano said, which is odd. It
How
should
is
be
that
first
not
degree.
first?
Something odd in there.
Yeah, Napolitano said he
should
was
be
confused
100%.
about it, too.
If that's not first, what is first?
Right.
Right.
Right, because that's pretty
premeditated as it can
awful
be.
And, like, pretty straightforward. And broad daylight. We
Right.
got cameras and everything on.
Got up
What happened?
early to do it.
But I might have to dump this.
Okay.
But let's see. This is him arriving and jumping out of the police car, and let's listen in together.
Dog.
Oh my God! That's completely out of touch. And the info, the intelligence of the American people, and the lived experience.
Huh.
Yep.
He said something like, this is the insult to the intelligence of the American people?
Supposedly he's got all kinds of things. Like I said, there's a YouTube account that's right now, or last night if they hadn't took it down, if you went on there, it had a timer going on. I think it was something was supposed to let out of it today that's tied to him. All kinds of people are going down the rabbit holes with all the different stuff about him, but
What about the other?
funny.
What about the other angle? Like the guy who got murdered was being questioned on insider trading.
and he was
5
supposed to
other people.
testify against Nancy
Yeah.
Pelosi Friday. So yeah. So who knows?
272-9228. By the way, Trump just retweeted this photo.
Yeah.
And it is kind of funny because you can see like Trump twice on the president's
Right.
list.
Oh, you know he's going to have so much of that. There's going to be
So
much
instead of it
that.
just saying 45th and 47th, it's like Trump, Biden, Trump, 2 photos of Trump.
Dude, if I had a magic wand and could have T-shirts for his inauguration, so nice we did it twice.
That's what I mean. It's going to be ate up with that, which is, I'm glad.
Oh, man. Just seeing if anything else. Oh, the governor of New Jersey, follow-up from yesterday on these car-sized drones.
Oh, yeah, those drones. Saw some more videos last night.
Yeah, here's the governor of New Jersey talking about what everybody's seeing.
In New Jersey, in Morris County, I don't know how many mayors sent a letter to you this morning asking for a clarification. What can you tell us? What is going on, and why is it taking so long to come up with an explanation?
Yeah, it's a good, I don't blame people for being frustrated. Let me say, most importantly, right up front, we see no evidence, and I say we, this includes Homeland Security, FBI, Secret Service, our state police, authorities at all levels of government. The most important point to say is we don't see any concern for public safety. That's number one. Number two, having said that, it's really frustrating that we don't have more answers as to where they're coming from and why they're doing what they're doing. We had last night 49 sightings. I think 20 of them were over Hunterdon. Now those include, I think I saw one mistaken a fixed wing aircraft, a plane, a small Piper Cub, for instance, for a drone, or you saw one and that counts, and then I saw the same one and that counts. So we think these are overstated, but it's a non-zero number. I was on with the White House and Homeland Security leadership literally at the very top yesterday for pretty much all day. I'm hoping we'll get answers sooner than later. I would just ask folks to continue to let the FBI or their local law enforcement know when they see something, and we'll continue to do everything we can with our federal partners to get clearer answers.
That's not reassuring at all.
No, how impotent do you got to be that there's things like this over the skies of your town, your city, your state, and you're just like, oh, we don't know what
It's not a threat to public safety.
Do you not own a helicopter? I know this guy has access to a helicopter. I know he has access to a drone. Get it up there. It's not that hard. You see right where they're at. Go. Don't come down with this kind of BS. This is why people can't stand politicians. They're lying pieces
These
of crap.
are apparently very, as I understand it, very sophisticated. The minute you get eyes on them, they go dark.
They turn the lights off?
And, we're obviously most concerned about sensitive targets and sensitive critical.
So as soon as you get eyes on them, you can't see them anymore?
Right, it's like the Cleons.
It's like leprechauns.
Yeah.
It's just annoying. People like this, to have people like this in the United States annoys the crap out of me because he's such a lying jackass.
Well, I mean, it's definitely...
Just be honest. Say, hey, look, I can't tell you about it. Yeah, we know what it is. Yeah, it's a military. It's whatever. But don't come up with this BS. Because you don't. If that were the case, what you're saying is the case, then you don't give a damn about your people because all you're doing is standing underneath there cowering.
Yes.
And bowing to them as if they're some kind of god. Get up there and do something about it if you really gave a crap.
Here's more.
Critical infrastructure. So we've got military assets, we've got utility assets, we've got the president-elect's one of his homes here. This is something we're taking deadly seriously. We've gotten good cooperation out of the feds, but we need more, and that was my plea.
Finally, how much longer do you think?
I don't know, but if we have news, I'll let you know. The minute we know something, I'm not going to hide.
The minute they tell me what I can tell you, I'll tell you.
Yep, exactly right, Eddie.
Go back.
Anyway, this part of the program, maybe this will cheer you up. Brought to you by Josh and Leslie Ryder.
Well, I love those folks over there.
And they are a full-service jewelry shop. So if you're getting ready for Christmas, maybe you want a stocking stuffer, maybe you want to pop the big question, and you want to buy one of their great rings in stock or have it made, which is a truly unique engagement ring. Now, that's
beautiful,
man. And Josh Ryder, that man is a true artist. Of course, they can also, when we say full-service jewelry shop, do repairs, do spa treatments. So say you've got an older piece of jewelry that you want to shimmer and shine like it's brand new.
Right.
They can do that for you. They can also do appraisals. Maybe it's been a while. You've had some old heirloom jewelry in the family, and you haven't had it appraised in a while.
Definitely.
Especially with inflation, how it's been the last few years.
Gold prices. Chick, going up, baby.
So the point is they can really do it all there at Dillon Rings. I encourage you to go by their Facebook page or Instagram page to see samples of what they have in stock. But, of course, the best way to work with Josh and Leslie Ryder is go see them in person there at 119 Brown Springs Road here in Montgomery, just off of Atlanta Highway. And be sure to tell them that Joey and Eddie, those fellows on the radio, sent you. What are you chuckling about over there?
Man, I'm looking at a video of a guy in Utah who bought a car and asked if he could return it after just a short amount of time.
Oh, he brought it through the front door?
He drove it through the front door.
Wow. Yeah, he did. Subaru, baby.
Colin Rugg, R-U-G-G.
Oh, on Twitter, yeah.
On Twitter, posted it.
Yeah, a little bit of an issue with the car. They didn't want to listen to him, so he brought it back.
My man is mad when he gets out.
And when he gets, he's calm too. He gets out, like, you didn't want something. Here it is.
Well, obviously,
shuts the door and he's walking back out.
Mad enough to drive it through the front of the building.
Yes, and the way he gets out of the car, because he's kind of pinned in between the desk, but he's just so nonchalant about it. Yeah, you want it? Here it is, right here. And he walks out.
I can't return it. Nah, here it is.
Let me see. Where is it?
He's a big old fella.
Nobody says anything to him. Yes, sir. You have a good day.
All right. Okay, here it is. I think we got it. Full screen this and see what happens. Oh, damn!
I should have told you I was watching it with the audio off.
Yeah, but when I first saw it, my instant thought, because we live in Alabama, was, oh no, an old person has got the brake and the gas confused pedal and they bust through. No, this dude knew exactly what he was doing.
Man, he's mad.
Yep.
Anyway.
Good looking car.
Let's hit this break. We'll be right back.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
This is your roving reporter, and today I am talking with an elk. Hey man, Mr. Elk, I was just wondering, what do elk do to take care of their money? Well, like most smart folks, we call David Ernest. You mean Alabama's most favorite asset preservationist? That's him, man. We call him up at 334-279-7431 or 205-479-0839. I see. Yes, he is our preferred money man. The money man with the money plan. You've been paying attention. Well, could you give us those numbers one more time? 334-279-7431 or 205-479-0839. And I just want to try to give you a heads up, man. Oh, what's that? I'm not an elk. Not an elk, huh? Well, then, pray tell, what are you? Knights of Columbus. I am not even going to make a comment. Well, the baby liked it.
Rich Thomas Weather, a service of H&H Carpets, in stock specials on waterproof luxury vinyl plank and engineered hardwood flooring at blowout sale prices. H&H Carpet, across from Walmart on the Atlanta Highway.
Well, hi, everybody. Our weather app will keep you on top of the action with a wet and stormy night ahead. Periods of rain and thunderstorms, locally heavy rainfall amounts, some of the storms strong, possibly severe. I think by late tonight, the storms will start to taper off as the front moves through and it turns colder, low 43. And then Wednesday's a raw day, windy and cold with a high temperature only up to about 51, down to 29 on Wednesday night, and a chilly day on Thursday with sunshine and a high around 53. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Whether you're buying a home or auto or consolidating debt, CB&S Bank's personal loans get you where you need to go. Go to cbsbank.com to find a location near you or apply online today. All loans subject to credit approval, member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Hey guys, this is Todd Clark with River Region Contracting, your premier roofing contractor in Central Alabama. So remember the name, River Region Contracting, for all your roofing needs. We're not affiliated with any other roofing company in the River Region. We've been in the roofing business since 2005. We don't have to buy our leads, and we don't have to knock on doors when the storms come around. We have thousands of satisfied customers throughout Central Alabama. So call us at 334-356-8635. That's 334-356-8635.
This is Matt Woodham with Woodham Southside Firestone. As a businessman, you need to watch your advertising dollar. We've been using Blue Water Broadcasting for many years. Blue Water Broadcasting is the biggest bang for your buck. Blue Water Broadcasting and Woodham Southside Firestone, great combination.
Our advertisers are our biggest advocates. Call us to find out how radio can increase your bottom line. Blue Water Broadcasting. Local folks helping local business.
At AMS Studios this holiday season, we are giving the gift of relaxation and renewal of the mind, body, and spirit with a one-size-fits-all option. A gift certificate is perfect for even the hardest to shop for, and we have a menu with services fit for all. For the creature of comfort, we offer massage and pampering facials. For the skin-savvy, medical-grade skincare and treatments, plus so much more. Look at our holiday gift certificate specials on Facebook at AMS Studios and find us Monday through Saturday in downtown Prattville.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
When news happens, you'll hear about it first. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. This part of the program brought to you by James Cole and Cole Plumbing. And they're at Cole Plumbing. They're ready to help you out with any and all of your plumbing needs. It could be an everyday plumbing problem like clogged drain, low water pressure. Both of those, especially if you can't solve it yourself, you need to call the pros.
Well, we're talking about holidays. If you're starting to have that issue now, you don't want to have that issue when you got 10 folks in your house.
You don't want that stanky garbage disposal.
No.
Like, why does your kitchen stink?
Right.
That's how they're going to say it to you, too. Why does your
stank.
kitchen stink?
Oh, yeah, I know them boys. That's how they talk.
Them boys?
Mm-hmm. They've done a lot of work for me.
That's a lot. Yeah, they can help you out, though. So maybe you're, well, don't just keep pouring Drano down the drain either.
Well, the worst thing you can do is
like
start
a
heating
little
up your
bit
pipes and everything, man.
is fine, but like you don't need to pour a lot down there, especially if it's not solving the problem. Or it could be something like you're flushing the toilet and it's coming up in the shower drain.
You don't want your guests to experience that.
Or it could be you have a major leak that you want to get repaired pronto. They understand time's of the essence there at Cole Plumbing, and with proprietary pipe lighting technology, they can solve that problem with minimal discomfort to you in your home. That could mean no drywall like damage, like you're not pulling out a bunch of drywall or you're not digging up a huge hole in the yard. They do it with precision and expertise, and they can help you upgrade to say a tankless water heater system or maybe a taller toilet.
Ooh, that'd be
or
nice.
a bidet. You're getting all real fancy.
Paperless.
Any sort of accessories you want to add to your plumbing in your kitchen, bathroom, they can help you out there at Cole Plumbing. So call them today, 279-8919. That's 279-8919. And just remember, folks, when you have trouble with your bowl,
call on Cole, Joey.
So have we learned anything today?
A few things, Joey.
A few things?
Yeah, we learned that governor of New Jersey is kind of a twink.
A what?
Twink.
Yeah?
Yeah, soft.
Useless?
Yes.
Flaccid even?
Yes. I learned that very much so. And something I keep forgetting to ask you about. The Nippon Steel and Donald Trump. You know, Nippon Steel is set to buy out the last U.S. American or the American steel company. Donald Trump doesn't want that to happen.
Right.
But I think it's scheduled to happen before he takes office. Is it not? Or do you know?
Oh, no, I'm shaking my head.
I don't know if it is or not. I know, to me, it'd be stupid, to say the least, to let that last steel company be owned by a foreign. I don't care if they're a friend or not. It's American production. And for whatever reason, we seem to be going away from that when the rest of the world is coming back to that.
Yeah, that's a shame. Absolutely a shame. I didn't know that. I'm shaking my head because I didn't know about that, but it's like just another thing people are trying to get done before Daddy gets home.
Yep.
What a mess. What an absolute mess. Also, this Luigi Mangione guy seems crazy, but also articulate crazy, which is kind of always the most interesting, where he's not just shouting expletives, he's shouting at reporters the American people are smarter than this, something to that effect. We learned that Trump and Trudeau seem to be best buddies, but Trump is definitely the one, I think, holding the bigger stick. We didn't get into detail, but Syria really is a mess. An absolute mess.
Do you think we're going to be able to stay as far out of it as Donald Trump wants us to, or do you feel like we're going to get drug into it?
I don't think anybody knows.
Yeah,
I know there are
I'm
still
worried we're
American
gonna drug into
troops there in more the northeastern part of the country working with the Kurds. But you have several different Islamist groups, including former Al-Qaeda guys, are the ones that actually did this blitzkrieg through Syria. You've got Israel taking a temporary defensive position, they say.
Temporary.
Yeah. Well, it's this, when the government fell, it meant this one particular spot where the Syrian army was. It was a UN resolution. So Israel took it over before anybody else could.
High point.
And you just wonder, is this actually going to work out? No. I am doubtful.
I'm very doubtful.
Maybe we'll be surprised. Let's go to Ray Bowles from Prideville Carpet. Hey, Ray, how you doing?
Man, it has been a day today.
Is that right?
Coming back from Auburn, you couldn't even see.
I know, man.
Just all you can do is put your flashers on and just ease down the road.
Yep.
Now I'm leaving over here in Wetumpka, met with the builder, did a couple of sets of plans, and head back to Prideville.
Good deal.
Yeah, I got caught in it a little bit this morning, man. It's no fun.
No, it ain't.
Yeah, next weekend, if y'all call the store for that, I'm going to be in Denver, Colorado next week.
Sure. You going skiing?
Well, I don't want to go skiing. He's like, Dad, I really don't want to go skiing. And I'm like, well, you know what? I'm 52 and my knees hurt. So we go snowmobiling, so we're just going to snowmobile.
Oh, snowmobile.
Oh, that sounds
blast
fun.
up there. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, probably a good idea with the skiing, Ray.
Yeah, the Mohawk convention's next week, so we got to go by our displays and go over all the stuff for next year and get a little bit of playtime in there while we're there.
That's cool.
So if you don't mind, I'll leave Monday and I'll be back on Friday. So I'll let you call the store. Chad's in the store. It'll probably be me. Yeah, Chad will do it.
Chad gives the best discounts. Everybody loves some Chad.
Always the best discount.
That's right.
And when Ray's gone, he don't know no better.
That's right.
Before I'm gone, It just happens, right? That's exactly right. And it's Christmas. I'm jolly and merry and all that stuff. So
Even better.
Hey, so if you need a floor, call Chad today, 285-8117. He'll come out and give you that free measurement.
Well, and Merry Christmas to all y'all. And again, that number, 285-8117. And be sure to tell him you heard Ray on the radio here with Joey and Eddie.
All right, guys. Have a great day.
You too, Ray. See you, brother. Denver. We should go to Denver.
Snowmobile?
Sure, we can. We can ski. We can snowboard. We can just look at the snow bunnies.
What?
Snow bunnies?
Snow bunnies?
Yeah, the girls that ski. Snow bunnies. What do you call them?
What do we, like, I don't even know the term.
Border
but
betties or something.
go look at the girls?
I'm trying to get you a girl. There's none around here. Let's go to Denver. Could there be some chicks there?
They'll probably be high.
Well,
I'm not looking for some like stoner
you
chick at this point in my life. Maybe in college, but no, not anymore.
They got money out there, Joey. The po folks ain't out there.
The po folks?
The po folks ain't out there, Joey.
We need to get off air. Because this whole show, we've been right on that line. Right on the line. Oh, we definitely figured out like that Coleman is not a sundown town.
Oh, not
and it's
by
from a
any
TikTok
means.
video, black gentleman went to the big thing and was like the fair or Christmas market they're doing, and he was like, sun's down, I'm here.
He was having a great time, eating great food.
Yeah. Man, that tower thing that he was eating on looked awesome.
I don't know what it was, but in my mind, it was a thing of mashed potatoes and gravy on the inside, but I don't think that's what it was.
Sounds good, though.
I know it really does.
You know, if this doesn't work out, if, you know, real estate doesn't work out,
Yeah,
if,
yeah.
like, just everything we're doing right now doesn't work out, why don't we become, like, fair people? And we just fry
I'll be a
food?
carny in a minute.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
You could be the bearded lady. It'd be great.
I could be the bearded lady.
I mean, they wouldn't know.
Why do you think I'm working on my calves to wear that cute dress? Hey, happy hour with Greg Budell. He's next.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's
With SRN News, I'm John Scott. A 26-year-old man charged in last week's killing of United Healthcare CEO in New York City has appeared in a Pennsylvania courtroom. While being led into court to be arraigned, Mangione was unruly and had to be restrained by sheriff's deputies. During the hearing, Luigi Mangione was denied bail. His attorney said he would not waive extradition. Israel carried out a wave of heavy airstrikes across Syria as its troops advanced deeper into that country. Israeli officials have said they're striking military assets to prevent them from falling into the hands of extremists. South Korea's previous defense minister has been formally arrested over his alleged collusion with